And hello everybody, how you doing? It's Tuesday and I want to make sure I don't have music coming out some other channel like I did before. So I'm just going to mute a couple of channels here and just see how it goes. There we go. All right. How you doing, guys? I'm Howard of ForderLearnToFly. Anybody who's new, and we're broadcasting simultaneously on Twitch and YouTube. Today it's a workshop. It's a tutorial workshop on how to work with Paint.net, which is a free paint program, and OBS, which I use for broadcasting for the last 5 years. And interestingly enough, playing around with profiles so I can show you guys how to do profiles, I left it on the wrong profile and started broadcasting this evening to the wrong channel. So, you know, even if you've been doing it for 5 years, you can make mistakes like this. Stop messing with your settings, Howard. But, you know, I had to take screen snaps so I could show you guys how to set it all up. And I ended up on my testing channel, so it was pretty funny. But you guys have seen the errors over the years, and those of you in chat who've known me for so long and supported me for so long, you've seen, even if you're experienced in all this stuff, it's live TV. And so things can happen, you know? So hello, everybody in YouTube chat. Hello, everybody in Twitch. Good to see you guys, and glad you tuned in. This is going to be a fun session. It's actually a workshop. So I'm going to ask that if you would like to do the same things that I'm doing and the things that I'm showing, then I'm going to I'll show you some links. You can download the same two pieces of software and you can follow along. And I'll have you make your own stuff out of your own screen snaps, but I could provide some graphics. I was going to give you a whole zip file, but some of those graphics are copyrighted, so I can't actually send those out to you. But you can easily find practice images on images.google.com. You can find practice images and use them as long as you're not publishing or making money, right? As long as you're not selling them, as long as you're not publishing them, then you can use anybody's graphics. I always ask when I borrow graphics from places that are copyrighted, I always get permission and I keep that email, I print it. But for practice today, as long as you're not going to be selling or publishing, you can easily just go get anybody's graphics and use them. It's your own use. You're not making money on it, so you're not breaking copyright, and nobody will know. And that's perfectly legal, you guys. I'm not telling you how to do something illegal here. So this is a lot of fun. It's a very different thing than teaching you how to fly. What I will mention is next week is going to be an in-depth, another one of those heavy-duty in-depth lessons on a specific aircraft. So here it's really light. This is stuff I already know. It took me only about 2 days to throw this stuff all together. But I could easily just do tutorials without even preparing anything because I've been using these tools for years. And so hopefully there's some insight here, maybe some tips and tricks that you haven't done. Maybe you already use this software. By all means, give me suggestions in chat when you want everybody else to know something I'm not showing, and some little tip or trick that I don't know. And I can learn something too. So without further ado, I'm going to move over to the main screen. And look, Mike was the last person who talked, and I'm not even on there. So Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
You're doing all right. And Ace is not here. Andrew, you here?
I'm here.
He's here. There he is. There's the face, the man. There he is. I'm just trying to find my, somewhere around here, I've got a camera. There it is. Hey. And we're both on the same screen again, Andrew. I think your camera moved a little, or I moved your image a little, but I guess it's all right. You just sort of a little lower than I'm used to seeing you. I don't know. Maybe it's my screen. Maybe we shouldn't adjust anything for now. Heisenberg is in the house. Super Ty was first in the door. How you doing? How's it going? And Srap, a moderator on our stream who's quick with the links, has just subscribed for 49 months in a row. And you guys are surprised to find that even the moderators who help me out on the channel, keep it clean and keep things rolling, are also subscribers. And a lot of people are surprised to hear that. This channel doesn't make enough money to pay them any kind of income. So when I get freebies, I pass them on. When I can, like Christmas time, if I can gift something like an airplane, then I'll do that too. But you know, they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart, and it's so nice of them to do that. So big thanks to the moderators, and I really appreciate all the work that they do. Andrew's mentioning one right now, Buyers Late. He's talking about the fires that are happening. You guys, I was just traveling last week, as you heard. I was up in northern Ontario, a lot of hours and a lot of miles on my Tesla now. But everywhere I went, there were signs that saying fire ban. You can't light a fire anywhere up there. Everything is just so dry. Even here in Toronto, one of the almost the most southern part of Canada. And I still, here in Toronto, we still have the brownest lawns we've ever had. They just completely dried up and died. That's it. All of us who took such care in having nice manicured lawns. Oh, well, that's life. We got manicured brown lawns now. But the wildfires definitely are a real thing, you guys. And it's temperatures are hotter than ever, and fires are more and more frequent and out of control. It's a fact of life. So Andrew's affected by that. Yeah, about 15 minutes from his home, he's got a fire happening with all kinds of help there, trying to put it out and trying to do. And there's more than one too in that eastern end of the country. So yeah. So Sarap, is that you that says I need this lesson? In my case, I've got a chat that's in black background, and your chat name comes up in dark blue. So dark blue on black, it really is making me squint. It's not your fault. It's just that's the way it's coming up. I think that's you that says I need this lesson. And you know, there's a lot of people who asked about this lesson, you guys, and so that's why I'm bringing it. So, and also I'll say, you know, I've only had 2 days to get this lesson ready. Any other aircraft, I would be just scrambling and probably making mistakes. But here, this is stuff I know. I can pull together this stuff pretty quickly. So I do have a presentation. You can get it. There's the scan code if you want. This is a workshop. That will also be available on Ko-Fi. Matter of fact, this scan code will get you to my Ko-Fi site. That site is used for giving you all of the presentations, you guys. And I ask for a minimum donation of $3 for every presentation. They usually take 2 to 5 days to make every one of these. So it's helping the channel, and that's where the money goes. For those of you in YouTube chat, say hi in chat. I'm used to having interaction. So I know YouTube videos are typically just viewed, and then sometimes people put comments in afterwards. But I like it when it's along the way. And ask your questions along the way, and moderators will jump in and help you out with that. And because I was struggling this morning or this time to get the stream working properly, Mike has a OBS tutorial for me at the end of the stream. It's this PDF right here. It's kind of funny, isn't it? So, Andrew, what I do want to mention is, what about this baby next week? There it is. I've already started work on it, you guys. This is the MH60. You guys have probably seen some of the videos. People are raving about it. It's been so well done. I haven't looked at all of the reviews. I haven't looked at any of the reviews, but what I hear in the forums is that this thing is awesome. It's modeled beautifully. I mean, you know, you take companies like Miltech, we've had a relationship with them for a long time, and they've given me this helicopter to make the lesson. And it's going to take, already I've put in probably 8 hours. I'm going to probably put in the whole rest of the week to get this thing ready for Tuesday. So this is a lot of work, you guys. This is going to be big. And I've already started work on it. So I'm doing the basic stuff like the views and all that. The real interesting part about it, you know, any of these helicopters that are well made, they take enough time in themselves. But this thing also comes with another product called the Mission Hub, which I'm going to get into also. So it's going to be a double whammy lesson. That's why it's so big. This with the Mission Hub. The Mission Hub will be used with other aircraft later, but for now, there are missions already made for this helicopter, and I want to go through them, at least record some of the missions. We can't drag you through all the missions in one evening, but at least record some of them to show you what they look like and give you an idea how easy they are to make happen. At some other point, I probably will make a lesson on how to make your own missions, because there is a mission editor we can use. That's a more advanced thing we'll do later, but. So I finally got my hands on this. Miltech has graciously sent me one, and I'm diving in full force and figuring it all out so it's easy for you to understand how to make it all happen, what the variations there are, what can you do with it, where can you go. This one you see here is actually a fictitious search and rescue for Canada. This livery doesn't really exist, although this livery is common on water bombers, and it's common on C-130Js and all kinds of aircraft have this livery, this kind of paint scheme. This is actually a fictitious one for this helicopter. But anyway, I couldn't help it, you know? So, all right. Hey, Allison Johnson! Allison's in the house! How you doing? How's it going, girl? Listen to that air raid sign. We've been air raided. Look out! Look out! This is cool. This is great. Welcome, Raiders. How you doing? And you guys, there's the link. Thanks for that link. And Super Ty, thanks for putting that in. Allison, you guys, for if you don't know Allison, you got to get over there. And interestingly enough, Allison, I was thinking about you yesterday. I heard in the news that they found the statue that was destroyed from the original spot where she started her round the world trip. There was a bronze statue there, and somehow, for some reason, it got removed and then broken up. And
somebody stole it.
who knows, right? And then they found it in a forest, and then now they're assembling it and putting it back where it belongs. So I thought of you immediately because, you know, that's Allison and Amelia Earhart. I guess that's you know, it's a synonymous thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, hey guys, how you doing? Zybog's in the house. How's it going? And yes, I've been told they found. Yeah, you know. Yeah, okay. I kind of figure you know. You know the second before I knew, so you know. Anyway, we're thinking about you. Hope you're well. Hope everything's good. And thanks for bringing your friends. So let's go over to the classroom, you guys. We'll still hear Andrew along the way. Right now, he's over flying something. Oh, the Lancaster. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah. But while you're still on my screen, I'm going to show you. This is the newest update. This is 1.4.
I have the update. I haven't installed it yet. Hey, Red, how you doing? Well, thanks for that. Shadow Local Informer, right? Here in the U.S., August 19th is National Aviation Day. No kidding. What a nice view, Andrew. Oh, wow, look. Look, you guys. The turret's moving.
The unfortunate part is if you go to the turret position, they don't move.
So what? Huh? So you're doing it from the outside?
This is built in. There's a switch in the
so it just makes them move by themselves.
Where the crew member visibility switch is, there's one there to actually, you flick that, it actually makes the turrets do a
yeah, they're doing their thing. They're all moving. Yeah.
Search sweep.
Yeah.
But if you shift your viewpoint to be in said turret, it's the same as it always is. Pointed straight aft and it doesn't move.
Huh.
I was kind of hoping it might have been moving when if you moved in to sit in it, but it didn't.
That's cool enough as it is, right? Maybe that's the next version. Maybe they're working on it, Andrew. They got to make, you know, Milviz will not put something out that's sort of half baked. You know, they're gonna
Airplane Heaven.
They're gonna airplane. No. Oh, Airplane Heaven. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. We're on the Lancaster. Yeah. I was back on the MH60. But you know, yeah, they don't like these guys who make these types of aircraft. They don't mess around. They're gonna make sure it works before it comes out. So I'll bet they're working on you being in there, and they sort of got it working, and they're not gonna bring it out sort of. So even from inside, you can see the turrets moving outside. Yeah, but you can't when you're in the position. Oh, that's interesting.
No.
Wow. Time to drink. Okay. Go ahead.
Here's mid upper, and it's not moving.
Well, it's a step, right? It's a step up. It's a big step up. It's a nice step up. All right, so I've got to get my fuel ready. I got to request a fuel. So by all means, let's fuel up before we start the tutorial, and then let's go. Let's go. I had to show that because, you know, that's cool what Andrew's doing. Always doing something interesting. All right. I'm going to move over to here, and then I'm going to do the obligatory redeem drink fuel for 1,000. Are you kidding? Time to drink, Cybok. This fuel was a very good year. Some more of that when we get back. Yeah. Yeah, it's true, Zybok. It's always cool to see what Andrew's doing. Yeah, so even though it's not on theme with what we're doing tonight, it's actually cool to see what he's doing. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mr. TPHI, how you doing? Did he borrow that Lancaster from Hamilton? The only one flying in Canada? Yeah, that's the one. Yep. I think Andrew's more, you know, he's a Canadian, but I think he's more partial to the UK versions of things. He seems to be leaning towards that, you know.
That's where I am. Although I will say this much.
That's where you're flying right now, right? Am I guessing right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I did take.
I know this guy.
I did take Vera out last week from Hamilton up to Toronto, across to
around the CN Tower,
Niagara Falls, and back to Hamilton.
Right.
Which is actually the real world flight, apparently, that if you manage to get one of the 4 seats that you can book in the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museums in Lancaster, that's the flight you do, apparently. Just take off in Hamilton. You fly up to Toronto City, cross the lake to Niagara Falls, and then back to Hamilton.
That's an awesome trip. Now they can go across the lake. That's the difference, you guys.
Yeah.
Because in my Cessnas, when I rent Cessnas, I got to go around the lake. I can't go over the lake because you got to stay within gliding distance.
Or if you don't mind spending an hour climbing, so that you have altitude to glide across the lake. But
right.
in that length of time, you could probably have gone around it. So why would you bother?
So units. A minute here. I want to give you guys an idea. Scarborough, 27 degrees right now in Scarborough, but it's raining. Right. 32 in Ottawa, where I just was up in Ottawa. So we're actually hotter here than in Florida right now. Here in Toronto. Toronto isn't usually the hottest. Usually, that's other areas. But we're hotter here in Toronto than we are in Florida. Florida's brutal this time of year, right? It's the worst. Nobody wants to be there in this time of year. Even the Floridians go north for holidays, right? So, it's super tight. You're asking. It's it's hot. Yeah. Air conditioners are working overtime. All right. So let's go talk about this stuff here, you guys. I'd love to talk about flying. That's what Thursdays are for. We're going to get into everything going on. There's so much going on, you guys. Unbelievable stuff that's going on in sim world, in aviation world. And certainly lots that we can cover on Thursday. And we'll get into what's up, new updates and new products. And I got stuff I'm supposed to review here. I think Paul and I are going to try and review a couple things tomorrow when he's over. We're heading out to tomorrow night. I'm taking a night off and we're heading out to the Styx concert here in Toronto. So that's going to be awesome. Paul and I, P Delta Bravo and I, are going to be heading to see Styx. There he is. How you doing, Paul? And also I'm going to have him come over tomorrow. We'll cut a few videos on some of the products I want to review. So that'll be some fun, you guys. Talk about fun. And Paul, I just got the tickets today, finally got released, and I put them on my phone, so we're good to go. All right, you guys, let's go take a look at this and find out what's involved. Now, what I'm going to do is turn this on right now so I don't forget. I'm giving away, as we do every Tuesday, if I remember, I'm giving away some cheat sheets. And these cheat sheets are for Say Intentions phraseology. And this is great. I've even seen some streamers who have done really well on airliners and tube liners. I've seen them recently, very high profile streamers on YouTube that jump into a GA plane and fumble around with phraseology for VFR because they never do VFR and they're not real pilots. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, those guys need these things. I'm serious, you guys. I don't ever criticize other streamers. They work hard. They do lots of work to get that stuff happening. And I'm seeing he's not even reading back clearances. What? And so I feel like sending him a private message of some sort. Like I've seen this on 3 different streamers now. A private message saying, would you like some cheat sheets, man? But that'll kind of insult them because they know so much stuff, right? They're really good. And the stuff they bring us is really good. But anyway, let's start that so I don't forget. And then we will get it over here. Let's get that started so we don't forget it. There it is. Anytime during the rest of this tutorial this evening, then type in ticket and you get yourself a ticket. This is good. Zybok says, is this only for USA? It is a USA cheat sheet. Yeah. But I would say if you've got the phraseology down for this, I would say then you just have to fine tune it for what's different in different parts of the world. Honestly, you guys, I mean, I'm seeing, I think there was only 2 things I found that were different between Canada and USA, and still both types of controllers. Now we are neighbors, right? So both types of controllers would understand it if you said it either way. But yeah, there are some very different things there, of course, right? And so just differentiate those. And I would say that you get 90% of it with this, right? Guys from Denmark. Yeah. So, and I know this, I say across the pond, I mean, across the pond is another chunk of land. I just generalize it and I'm sorry. But, that would be interesting, honestly, Zybok, it'd be interesting if you could actually find a phraseology website for Denmark, like the FAA does for USA. They have their own FAA website. You can go in there. You could just sift through all of that and do the phraseology yourself. These are just handy. They're laminated. They're nearby. They're even in your home cockpit. And you just look at it in the section that you want. So that, that kind of summary screen, laminated, ready, is better than sifting through a website and searching and trying to find the right phraseology when you need it, right? So if you could do that for Denmark, send me a link and we'll see what the differences are. And maybe at some session when I talk about ATC again, I can look at the differences between the two. It would be actually cool. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to have to say to the YouTube crowd, that kind of giveaway is only available on Twitch. So I'm really sorry about that. If you'd like to be entered into it, like Mr. TPHI, then Mike could enter into it here in Twitch chat. And if he wins, then it gets sent to you. How's that sound? All right. So, and anyone else who's tuned in right now and watching on YouTube, if you'd like to be entered into it, we'll get our moderators to join in. And if they win, then you'll get the cheat sheet. I'm going to try to do it that way. All right. And we're going to try and get one of those sets of cheat sheets over to Paul because he hasn't got one yet. So I hope you win, Paul. I hope you win. Hey, Volley Nerd, how you doing? Wow, long time no see. You guys, it's old homecoming on the channel. All right, so I'm going to focus on the lesson. Focus, Howard, because, you know, we're going to not only just do this presentation, but we're going to be doing lots of demo because I got to show it to you. I mean, showing to you is really the power in this thing, you guys. And then to make it even better as a workshop, you guys, if you're going to go to the distance, if you're going to go to the effort of making this happen, you're going to actually make an overlay and you're going to actually stream it. I want you to stream it to me live today, right now. All right. And as soon as we finish, and I'll let you know when to start streaming it, I'll give you the URL. I'm going to have you stream it to me and I will restream it out to everybody so we can see your project. All right. Doesn't have to be what you're going to end up doing for real. It's just your sample testing stream, long as there's nothing wrong on that page. Right? Your images have to be family friendly, okay? I'm taking a chance here. I'm trusting you guys. All right, so you can see in here, paint.net to make transparencies. Now, just so you know, paint.net is a software program. It was a very good reminder earlier when I heard that, isn't paint.net a website? No, it's a program. So this is what I use all these years.
That was me.
That was you, Mike. I wasn't going to say your name, but, you know, it's like...
That was me. I thought it was a website forever.
but Mike, I didn't want to admit that, you know, because you felt kind of stupid, you know. It's like, wait a minute, I didn't know that. But anyway, so paint.net, you guys, that's what we're going to learn to use, the basics of what I do. I'm not an artist. And then OBS, I call it OBS 101, Stream to Howard, which is the simplest thing to do. Anybody who wants to stream on a Saturday Group Fly, we can get you to do that. Very easy to do. Guest streamers, those who lead a guest stream, which we'll have at the end of this month. We've got a really interesting stream that's being worked on, and we'll have a guest on there too. And then my number 4 on my list here is OBS 102, meaning the next step. Well, streaming to Twitch is actually, when I look at it, streaming to Twitch is actually easier because you just pick Twitch and put in your stream key, but you got to know how to do that, right? There are tons of tutorials on all of this stuff, you guys. I haven't looked at any of them. I've learned all this stuff on my own because, first of all, I learned how to make overlays with Jane. When I was first teaching Jane on the MSFS official channel back in 2021, the first session was still being streamed by SimTom and by Peter, and to help Jane out, and she was the student. The second session that we were going to teach, they had troubles with internet. They had troubles with frames dropping. They said, Howard, if we send you the assets, will you stream it? I'm going, okay. And that's how I learned. So they gave me all the overlays. They gave me everything that needs to be underneath each other. And they just said, here's how you do it. And we were delayed about 20 minutes to get the stream started. And I streamed from then on. Every single one of those lessons with Jane was coming from me. Their assets on my system, me streaming. And that's how I learned a lot of this stuff. And then Jane taught me how to make overlays because she's a multimedia person, right? That's her background in university. So, you know, that was really cool. I learned from professional artists like Jane. And then I carry it on to you guys tonight. All right, so let's go see how to do this. Take a look at this one up here, you guys. This is formation flying training. I've got tons of these, literally hundreds of overlays that I've made for different guests that have been on. And the real secret to this, you guys, isn't that you have to be an artist. The real secret to this is that we have screenshots from our sim. Anybody can take a screenshot at any time, whatever tool you want to use. I use the built-in NVIDIA tool, which is Alt F1. At any time, if I press Alt F1, even now, Alt F1 up in the upper corner, there it is, screenshot saved. You see that in the upper corner? And then it saves it in a folder. And, you know, telling you this to start with is probably a valuable thing to see So let me give you an idea here. If we come over here to videos, the video section where you would normally have all your videos, in there, if NVIDIA already knows about your application, it'll make a folder for each one. There's my old flight simulator. Here's my new one. All right, you go in here and I scroll to the newest, and there's, oh, it's not, I'm not in the simulator right now. I'm on the screen, desktop. So right here, I go into desktop, go down to the bottom, and that's the newest one. And if you look at that, there it is. My newest one is the actual lesson topic that was on the screen right now, and I'm in Paint Shop. So you know, the point is that you can take screen snaps anytime of any view, like this one here, and say, okay, I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to make a poster out of that. It's already the right dimension for my screen because it came from a screen. See how easy this is? I don't have to be an artist. I don't have to draw an airplane. I don't have to do all these photo effects. Of course, you're going to end up with more gorgeous shots if you have an artistic eye. You take a look at stuff that Ace of Spades does. He has this eye for artistic, dramatic, beautiful, gorgeous, and he's a photographer too. And so, you know, like the fact that you look at P Delta Bravo, he's a professional photographer. He knows lighting, he knows exposure, he knows all this stuff. What I'm talking about here is how you would survive. Maybe your specialty is flying specific planes. Maybe your specialty is racing. Maybe your specialty is some other game, and because that's what Twitch is used for, right? And so you can take screen snaps, then make posters. And this is the tool we're going to use right here. It's called paint.net. This is it. And we're going to show you how to use that. All right. So getting the source files is easy. You can just do screen snaps on anything. The second method to get source files is just to go to a simple place like images. Let's go there. I'll just give you an idea how to get this started, you guys, because this is not something you have to sit and go, okay, I got a blank screen. What am I going to paint? We're not going to paint anything, right? So here's images, and I'm going to look at something. Airplane. Yeah, I was going to give the link eventually, but so, okay, there's airplane. Which one do you want? Now, you got to be careful, of course. Many of these are copyrighted, so you got to get permission to use them. But there's some that aren't, like cartoon airplane clip art. Oh, that's pined. Okay, so let's take a look at, I mean, there's other sites that have free clip art. You know, something like, oh, Shutterstock is a paid one that I use. I mean, look at this, CNN. So, you know, if I want to use that image right now, I can use it in this tutorial. You can use it to play, but you can't publish but you know, you can't obviously use it to make money or you break copyright, right? And if nobody sees it, who cares, right? So, you know, this is what I need. And then you find out also where they might have got it from. Oh, it's a Getty image. So, you know, you just send an email to them, say, I'd like to use your image. And, you know, I'm just a little streamer with three viewers. They might say, sure, go for it. Or they might say, don't you dare. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. You know, so don't worry about any of that stuff. I mean, for now, this is for playing and for practicing. And that's why we're here. All right. And when you can, you know, do that, I would say stick to your simulator stuff for now. And, you know, play with things that you can find in your simulator. Look at that. Well, that's a Pilot Edge, probably copyright. That's their scenery. So I can't use that. But, you know, it's just do screen snaps and work with those first, right? So this one here was actually a Shutterstock image. So I pay for royalty-free images. That's a Shutterstock images of the red arrows, even though Steve and the team were using 339s for this. It's still an effective poster, you know. Anyway, what you're seeing here is actually the OBS software, which is what we're going to learn secondly. All right, first we're going to learn paint.net, then we're going to learn how to use OBS, all right? And that's the two main demonstrations as we go along, all right? Let's go! All right, so if you'd like to follow along, it's a workshop. I see that Sraps beat me to it, but here's the paint.net software right here. And I think he's got that up there. Let's see. All right, so I thought there was a link there somewhere. There it is, Srap. I see it now. Is it the same one you're doing? Get paint.net download. Yeah, mine's a different download, but as long as you get the same product, there's some of those pages that people are grabbing the software and downloading it also, and there's some of them are questionable. So be careful with those downloads. But what I probably could do for you guys, just to make sure it's safe, we'll just copy that. If you're unsuccessful on the first link, I trust Srap's link, you guys, so it would probably work fine. And then here's the OBS one right here.
Yeah, Srap's link is actually
Is it?
Paint.net's website.
It's their website. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, sample graphics. I was going to give you a link for sample graphics, and that didn't work. I had 2 copyright images in there, so I removed that. All right, so I got to be careful with that, you guys. So I didn't share any of those images. I can only share stuff that I have or I own or I made. Okay, so let's be careful with all that. And you be careful too, you guys, if you're going to start publishing. All right, so let's talk about the very first time that I shared how to stream was when we had a lead pilot that would come in and lead us on a group flying. We've been doing this for years now, right? And we still will have guest. You saw, was it 2 Thursdays ago, we had Brian on. I made a special overlay just for Brian, and his face was in a window, right? And so this is not as hard as you might think. There are layers here. Every one of those graphics are just found or allowed to be used, and it's really just knowing how to cut out areas in Paint Shop, in Paint Program, and then inserting your live screens or inserting posters. It's really not that hard to do. And this is what I'm going to be showing you as we go along. So the very first application for this was to have you stream to me, and you didn't have to know how to make overlays. But when you stream to me, you'd have to know how to stream from your OBS, which we'll show you that later. And you would show up in my overlay, right? So that's how it worked. So we'll show you how to make something like this. Not hard to do. We'll just grab any screenshot and we'll start working on it from scratch. You can do the same. So get a screenshot ready that you like. It doesn't have to be even airplane themed. It could be a blank slate colored in blue, blank slate colored in whatever color you want. It could just be a square, but make sure it's already your screen size. And that makes it easier to resize things as you go along. And so in here, the is it 1920 by 1080 is a standard kind of screen. Unless you're in, screens like Ace has. It's like, oof. But I use those images because that's my screen snap image. And if in doubt, just do a screen snap of your current screen right now, and then use that. Or go into your sim where there's, the beautiful sky that you see without even an airplane there, because we're going to cut out the middle to make a visible part in here. And you'll get the clouds up here, and you'll get the grass down here, and it'll work fine. So that's a start. That's what we're going to be doing. But you can see in here, this is called an overlay, this part here, because this part is layers with see-through parts. All right, so the base layer, and we'll go through all of this, you guys, but the base layer would be this image you see back here in blue. And then I put text on top of it. And then I put graphic images on top of it. And the Flight Simulator logo on top of it. Then I've cut out squares that are empty so that I can put live video in there. Behind the live video, I've put some kind of background. I mean, this is what we're going to learn to do, and it's not that hard. I can do it in minutes.
Certainly, Dev pointed out a good point. The version that's on your Softronic link is 4.3, and the current version is 5.1. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's certainly Dev. So getpaint.net is the better one. Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
More. It's the current version.
I'll copy link address.
The current version as of the end of July is 5.1.9.
So that's an old link that I found or that I used in the past. It was one that I know works, but all right, getpaint.net. I changed it on my slide, and I'll save it on the.
Yeah, it says that, but if you download it, it's actually a 5.1.9.
All right. Now, I'm not using the latest because it will actually, if there's a latest that has to happen, paint.net will say, there's a new update available. Do you want to install it when you exit? So when you finish whatever you're doing and you finish with paint.net, it'll actually install it for you. So I just let it install whatever version. So I have, I don't even know what version it is, 5.1.9. So it did it automatically for me. So that's cool. All right. So
the website doesn't have the right version listed, but it is the right version.
Serious Streaming wants to have a second PC to handle the streaming side. Anything goes wrong, the game, the stream. Yep. NDI plugin for OBS. Yeah, I have a second streaming machine. That's what I'm using right now. And that way, if the sim dies, it's fine. And I'm just using standard OBS stuff, right? The NDI plugin, I did play with that. Yeah, I'm going to say I would not recommend it for beginners. Yeah, we're just going to hold off. Plugins is another whole area. Yeah, they can be useful, but we're going to hold off for now. But thanks for the tip. That's great. Certainly, Dev, let's see. Even better way to install is to drop into PowerShell window and type. Yeah, let's go to PowerShell. Let's send everybody to PowerShell. Sure. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's just hold off on Power. Yeah, that's a whole different course. Yeah, I've taught PowerShell for years, and it's like, yeah, that's for people who already have a background. All right, so overlay with transparent. So the overlay itself with transparent windows, and then putting borders around those transparent windows. This is going to be a 5-minute thing, honestly. A video source of your head with your, or the guest's head. Labels side and top. So labels have to go in there. You got to type those in, position them, make them all right. And the top, whatever labels you're putting up top. And then optional logos, badges, or even another guest window. So this is open for a time when Andrew was doing the emergency landing and Jane wasn't available. I still put Jane's picture up here, but I had a live window with Andrew in there because he was the one doing the student procedure. So you can easily have another overlay and just add another window and just switch overlays as scenes when you need to. And we'll talk about how to do that. It's real easy. And then this is mine with the live camera feed from inside the sim. Now here for the demonstration, you guys, I still have the normal camera that you're seeing right now, which goes to my streaming machine, a very high quality camera. I also have a backup camera that's on my G1000 that does my head tracking, but today I'm going to use it for adding a camera to OBS because OBS is not the live stream you're seeing right now. Okay, so you're going to see two different kinds of views of that camera, and we don't care about the testing one or how it's focused or whatever. So we'll get that working. All right, so let's just see how to make all this happen, you guys. So the very first thing is the introduction to the Paint program. And it's too bad they call it a Paint program because I don't paint with it, and you don't have to paint with it either. What we're doing is manipulating images. It's an image manipulator is what we're using it for. So I'd say, one of the first things I would say is it's free. And that's important for a lot of people because you're not going to be making masterpieces out of this. You're not going to be making something you're going to go sell on a market or turn into a canvas and put it into a studio. So that's not, we're not talking about professional sales and professional marketing and professional, all those tools they use in marketing departments are probably Apple products, and they're probably using Adobe series of products to make it happen. So I would say the granddaddy professional tools are the Adobe line. Ask any professional artist, professional videographer, they're using Adobe tools is what I'm seeing all around. And I've seen it for years when I'm out in the field as a consultant. And it was reminded to me earlier off stream before we started that Photoshop is probably the, you hear it used as a verb now. Oh, that picture of that model must be Photoshopped because she's not that thin now. You hear that kind of stuff, right? They're using it like a verb. So Photoshop becomes the verb. Just like a skidoo is a snowmobile, just like Kleenex is a tissue. All of those things, Photoshopped, whether you use a different tool or not. So the first thing is this one's free, so everybody can have it and use it, right? It is powerful. We're going to touch on some things. Oh my gosh, the stuff this thing can do. I've seen it in the hands of an artist. Here, look what you can do. The first time I learned about layers, it's like, oh, you're kidding me. This is great. So easy to learn, easy to use. You're going to learn it real easy right now in 20 minutes. So let's go do that. Save in any image format. Now, I'm saving everything I'm doing here in PNG. And the main reason for that is as opposed to JPEG. The main reason I'm saving in PNG, you guys, is it can do transparencies. I'm doing windows, I'm doing backgrounds, I'm making many things transparent. And so when you save in PNG, it'll come to you transparent, with that transparent working properly. All right. Now there are other image formats that can do that also, but PNG is the most common. So that's what we're using. Okay. That's what I'm recommending. And then we can use layers inside Paint. Inside this Paint program, we can use layers to correct mistakes. Layers are what they've been doing for years, even before they had digital stuff, even before they had computers. An artist would actually use, and I've seen this, they would use rice paper, or they would use something that's semi-transparent, and they would sketch, let's say they do just a basic sketch of an outline of something on their main canvas. Now they're going to put a layer of this transparent paper on top, or even acetate, and now they're going to paint or do some shading or do something on top of that. And then they're going to take another layer and put that on top, and then they're going to paint something on there. And if they don't like that, they'll just take that layer off and say, all right, put on a fresh layer and start again. There's no erasing. There's no throwing it out and starting over again. Layers are the key. And I've seen this with real artists doing this for real publications. And then now we can do this in a Paint program so easily. I'm going to show you how easy that is, how easy it is to move things around too. All right. So layers and then making transparent images. So these are the things we can do. I'm going to show you those two things anyway, transparent backgrounds and layers, how to use layers. All right. So let's start out with our first look at the Paint program. This is it right here running. This is paint.net with an image loaded. Now with this image loaded, I can use this as a background if I want to. Now this is actually a presentation picture, but I could use this as a background to start my overlay. It's got the clouds up top and everything. It looks great. I don't know where I took this picture, but and then what I've done now, I've expanded the menu so you can see what they look like. Over here, the tools menu, it doesn't look this big normally, but I expanded it so you can see what it looks like. Don't be intimidated by all of this. You're going to use a couple of these things and eventually you'll use a lot of them. I mean, eventually you'll use a lot more as you go along. The two main tools we will be using, I shouldn't say two main tools because we are going to use a couple more. For finding a color, we're going to use the dropper. You might have used this in other programs, this idea of an eyedropper, where we actually pick the color. Some people call it a color picker. All right, we're going to use that if we want to fill in something. All right, we're going to use we're going to use that to get a color, and then we're going to use the paint can to actually fill a color. So those two things we'll use. Eventually, you'll need those to fill in to make some consistent colors. But the main two things I want you to know about are the rectangle tool. That's how we're going to make windows for transparency, and the transparent tool. They call it the magic wand, but it's to make transparent backgrounds. It's so easy. All right, we're going to show you how easy that is. I'm going to demo everything. All right, but I want you to just get used to the fact that there's a tools menu. If yours isn't showing, you have to click the drop down and you can make it stay on page. I like it visible at all times. It's actually smaller than this in real life, but I expanded it so you can see what it looks like. You can have images, and typically when I'm working with this, I got tons of images across the top until I'm finished with them. As you open each new image, it'll show up across the top. The layers selection, if you click the layers icon in the upper right, then it will show you your layers. This one has one image and it's just called background. If I add another layer, there's a layer menu up here. We're going to use it a lot. If I add another layer, you'll see it show up here as another layer. And that's where you're going to highlight a layer you want to work with. Highlight a layer, delete it. Highlight a layer, modify it, and leave the background alone, right? That's actually really cool. That's a really powerful feature, really powerful. Surly Dev's got another idea. An alternative paint.net is quite popular. Use the exact Google search GIMP. All right, GIMP, yeah. I find, yeah, I'm gonna say right now, I find GIMP is very complex for beginners. Most beginners they're asking everybody they know how to use it. So I'm going to stick with basic stuff that's easy for now, but certainly that's your next step, you guys, if you want to have something even better. There are some image formats you can't just do with the free program, so you'd have to evolve into that. So color selection. Now this is important too, because there are times you're going to make text with different colors. That's mainly what I would use it for. I don't go in here and use the color wheel to find the right shade and then go and feather the paint job. You know, I'm not going to do any of that. No painting for me. And some of you might venture into that part. I don't know if this is the best tool for doing your own creative painting, but this is the tool I use for picking the color that I'll be using when I actually start putting in text, like these text here in red. So that color wheel is handy too. It's also a pop out from here on the menu at the top. So those are the two main pop outs I use: layers, colors, the color selection, and certainly the tools menu is visible all the time, right? Yeah, the text too, right? Yeah. Yeah, and when you make a mistake, boom, delete it. Yeah, so we'll see how to do that, you guys. So let's talk about that, the secret weapon layers, all right? Now, I tried to do the layers. I just made this as an extra slide about a couple hours before the stream, but it didn't show the transparent parts because of the effect. As soon as I took these actual images and laid them flat like that, they filled in, I mean, PowerPoint filled them in. So it's like, what? Where'd my transparencies go? But the whole idea, you guys, is and then I'll use this example too. This is the one we used for Andrew for the Lancaster a few weeks ago. The base image can be anything at all. You can pick anything and it'll work, right? Your base image, and then I've cut out some areas. We're actually going to do that. Then I put on some borders as a second layer. All I did was say add new layer, and then I started making my borders. If they didn't line up properly, I could just delete this layer and start again. On top of that, I started adding more detailed things. I had to make a transparent background Lancaster. I put that in, put it in two places. Had to put some text in, had to put some headset in, had to put the logo in. And when these all get sandwiched together, on OBS or in the Paint program, typically in the Paint program, then they all work. The video shows through from here in OBS. The video shows through from here through the frame and shows up here. And it's just, this is so powerful. It starts in the Paint program. That's where you make the overlays. Move the overlay to OBS, and in OBS we will also layer some things. So it's going to be fun, you guys. Going to have some fun with it. I'm going to demonstrate that as we go along. So giving you the basics on what we're about to do in a demonstration, I'm going to take paint.net. I'm going to go and add my first image, and that's going to be my background. All right, that'll be the background. See the layers? I've only got a background. That's all I got. Now I'm going to go up and say add new layer right away. And with that new layer now, I'll start adding other graphics and go play. At any time, you can click the layer you want to work with right here. All right, now there's other tools down here, more complex tools. You can merge the layers, you can delete the layer, you can merge, delete. I don't know, there's other things we can do here. Those are the two main things I do. And so we're going to add a new layer and work with it. That's what we're going to do. All right, now to get another image, here we've got our new layer. There's layer 2. Now we open our next image and it'll sit on top of the new layer. And as soon as you put it on that new layer, it now sits in layer 2. And at any time, you can turn off a layer and turn it back on again. And you're going to see when I show you some real ones that I've already done, half of the artifacts are not even on. I'll turn them on and save it as another image for some other overlay. So after a while, you can use a base overlay and you can just have different layers you can turn on and on for different scenarios, different streams that you're going to do. Anyway, let's do that. Let's go open an image and put it on number 2 and make it happen, right? And then to finish up, when you save your image, it stays in a paint.net format called a PDN. That's their format. And the reason they use that format is because it keeps all the layers, you guys, because you can come back later and add more layers. These are only 2 simple layers. But in the future, you might come back and make another overlay using this one. You might come back and add more to it and turn off some of the layers. So keep this in this format, this PDN, its default format. Save it like that. All right. And I put Ace of Spades logo on top of clouds and I called it aceonclouds.pdn. It's not really an overlay yet. It doesn't have windows and transparencies, and it's just a demo, right, of 2 different things. But so then I wanted to also save it so I can use it anywhere now with a PNG. All right, with a PNG. And so don't forget PDN, you can't really use that anywhere. It's like, what is that format? You know, and it's with all its layers. So you will, when you save as a PNG, it will prompt you to collapse them all into one image, right? And that's good. Now it's in one image. You can't uncollapse it. So you want to keep that PDN so that you can go modify anything you need to make to fix later. All right. So 1 to edit later, 1 to use now. There's our whole tutorial that we're about to do right now. So I'm going to move over to our main screen and start with that. Over here, let's go to this, and then let's just go straight into it. And I'm going to turn off the guest camera for now, Mike, just so that they've got lots of room to see everything. And now I'm going to open up my Paint program here. And there's whatever picture I picked up there in the Paint program. I'm going to just stick with this one. I'm going to start with that. And so it doesn't matter which image you start with. I'm just going to do a simple thing to start with. I'm starting with one image. Open up my layers. It's called background. That's it. Open up my color wheel. So I can work with that in case I have to change something. All right. So working with this, you can see all I've done is opened up visibly the 2 things I need to work with. And I've also got some images I've already input. Well, let's just input another one. Let's just go to File. Now you don't have to make the layer first, but before you place it in here, you have to make a layer. You should make a layer. You can easily paste anything in here, but you're altering that original image. That's fine if that's what you want to do, but the real power is the layers, and you can always collapse them later. All right, so I'm just going to open a file. I'm going to go find, I'm just trying to think of where I found Ace. I think I might have saved it in here. Maybe I saved it in here. Give me a second. I just have to remind myself where I put it because I've been working on the other thing. Layers right here. Oh, it's not in here. Okay, so let's just go find it. I know where to find it. It's right here. And I'll just type in Ace. And there's one of them that I'll use. This is on a white background. So let's start with that. And so there's Ace of Spades logo, you guys. I didn't even ask him if I can use it, so I better get permission. We've used it before in other things. You notice it's on a white background. You notice that? All right. So let's just take this and put it on top of our new, what's going to be our new poster or our new overlay. Let's do that. So I'm going to take this image. You notice how I'm just clicking on the image that I want, this one here. And now I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to do Control A and Control C. Now you can easily go up to the menu and do, or probably the edit menu and say select all, and then the edit menu and say copy. But I'm just doing the shortcuts like any other program. Any other program, Control A is select all. Any other program, Control C is copy. Control V is paste. All right, so you can use those if you wish. Now I've got this image copied into memory. I want to paste it over on this image. So I'm going to go up here and say new layer, or I can go here and say paste as new layer. Now that is really powerful. I'm going to hold it there for a moment. This just saves you a step. Every time I want a new layer with a new image, I can just say paste as a new layer. And so guess what that'll do? That'll make a new layer over on the right. There it is, layer 2. And it says, wait a minute, this is really big. We saw it was big. This is bigger than this page. Do you want to expand your canvas or keep the canvas size? I'm going to always keep the canvas size. And obviously it's way too big, but now I'm just going to stretch it or shrink it. I'm going to use Shift Click. Shift Click keeps the dimension. All right. If you don't use Shift Click, here's what happens. All right. Completely destroy someone's hard work. So I'm going to hit Shift, and now I'm going to make it smaller or bigger. All right. Let's just put that right there. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Let's pretend this is really artistic. Okay. And so now I'm looking at this going, wait a second, it's got this white border all around it. Now, some people will look at that and go, well, maybe I can doctor it here. All right. But wait a second, hold the phone. Let's go back to our original image right here. And let's make this background transparent. I said it takes 5 minutes to manage a picture like this. So I'm just going to use the magic wand. It's actually called the magic wand. And I'm going to go and click 50%. Yeah, it's actually covering the whole thing. Hold on. Pull back the percentage of what it's covering until, here we go. Okay, so it would have worked. I had the whole thing highlighted from before. Let's go back to 50%. Sorry, you guys. Here's what happened. I had the whole thing already highlighted to copy it, so it looked like that. It was all kind of grayed out. And then when I went to use the magic wand, it didn't know where to go. So I had to just press escape to get out of that to back to normal image. Now I'm just going to use my magic wand and click here. And you notice it's actually highlighted all around the image. And that's the part that I can hit delete. I'm done. So just to know, I'm going to do Control Z, Control Z, and Control Z and escape. I'm going to show it to you one more time. So here's the image I just pulled in. I'm simply going to go to the magic wand, click delete. I'm done. Click delete. And so this is really useful. If I wanted it to even be, and you know, I didn't intend to demo this, but if I wanted it to be even this part in here, you see this white part? Let's say I wanted the color behind this picture to show through. Guess what? I've got a magic wand in my hand. I'm not going to leave it like that because I'm not going to destroy his logo. But let me say this. If that were my desirable feature, I'm going to click it with my magic wand right here. Boom. You notice it's highlighted with these moving dotted lines all the way around here. Do you notice that? And one area it didn't get because it's blocked by the image, I'm going to press Control, click, and now I've got that area too. And if you wanted to go into this area too, this little one here, you could, because this one actually went around to here. So you could add this in if you want. Looks like I probably should. You can zoom in using Control and your mouse wheel. I'm just going to Control click that one too. All right. And so now I'm going to press delete. Look, that's now transparent behind. Look at, this is such a cool tool. And if you wanted to do all the white parts, you certainly could. All right. Now I'll leave that in just for effect so you can see what it looks like, you guys. I'm just going to bring it back out and you can undo anything you want. I've got the background's transparent. Inside here is transparent. The clouds should actually show through here just for fun. All right. So Control A again, Control C. There's my new image I'm going to play with. If you want to use this later, you should save it now that you've altered it, but I'm going to just leave it for now. I'll come back to my picture here. And this one here that I put in, I don't want that. So I'm going to press Control Z, 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 and Z. All right, it's gone. I'm just undoing, undoing, and undoing. Now I'm going to come up here. I still got a layer here, so I can just paste it from here. Paste. Keep canvas size. Oof, it's looking good already. And I'm going to come up here and do the shift shrink. Shift shrink. There we go. Oh, look at that. And the blue of the sky's coming through. Now, that might not be desirable. It might be, and this is Ace's design, you guys. It might be that, leave the white there, Howard. It's there for a reason. It looks like the ace of spades on a card, right? So that might not be desirable. Okay, let's put it here then. And there's still white behind, right? Let's put it over here. Now we got green and okay. So, you know, this is a cool thing. I'm just playing, you guys. I'm just having fun. But look how easy that is. And now I like it like that. I can now save this. Let's say this is my masterpiece. I know it's not, but let's say it is. And then we're going to save as, and you notice it saves it as a PDN first. Desktop screenshot, which is what this was originally called, right? It was just a desktop screenshot. And so I'm going to call it what it is, Ace on Airplane. I'm just a technical guy, you guys. So this way later when I'm looking for something, I can find it properly. All right, Ace on Airplane, and it's going to be in the PDN native format with both layers. All right, I saved that. I don't even know where I saved it, but I saved it. And then now I'm going to go and say save as one more time. Oh, it saved it in the desktop. Okay, let's put it over here into layers. Yeah, let's put it in here. Then I can find it again, put it where I'm working today. All right, save as, and now I'm going to save it as a PNG. All right, a PNG, it shows me other PNGs that are there in the area I'm working for this lesson today. And you notice there's two layers. Watch what happens. I'm going to save it as a normal PNG. And the first thing it does, it says save configuration. I'm letting it auto detect the bit depth. I'm just saying okay. But notice this, it says the image will be flattened and then saved. It can't save the layers. It has to merge the two together. So you go with that. And now you notice that it's up here, it says PNG. Over here, it's just a single image. I've now just made it into a PNG. And that can be used anywhere, right? And so, and there's how you do it. Ace, 52 months. And we got your logo on the screen, man. Isn't that cool? Arrow spades. Yeah, that's it. Arrow spades. Hey, Ace, how you doing, man? Are you working 52 months, man? Yeah. Now, Surly Dev was mentioning layers are good when you put text on another layer and then notice your text is too small. So let's do that example. I mean, I'll work with you guys. So this is the text tool, you guys. Let's add to this layer. Matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do. Because it's now a bitmap image, I can't manipulate anything on there. So I'm going to go back to Open Recent, PDN. Look at this. I'm going to open up my layered one, my original, all right? And now I can add, just wait, I can add, but there's more. We're going to add a text. I'm using the text box over here on the tools. Doesn't exactly fit where I am, but now I'm going to take the little box underneath right here and move it over. Now, I could look at that and say, that's what I want. You guys, obviously, this is not a masterpiece, and I'm just giving you the tools, all right? So I can leave that and say, all right, that's where I want it. Now, I put that on top of background. You notice? Just wrecked my background. If I don't like that or I made a mistake, I am completely messed up now. The only way out is Control Z. Okay, Control Z is fix a mistake. All right, if I save this image and bring it back, you can't Control Z it. Can I use that as a verb? You can't Control Z it. So the best thing to do is throw any text onto a separate layer called the layer texts. All right, look at this, layer 2. I'm actually going to call layer 2 Ace logo. There we go. I know exactly what that layer is for. That's all that's on it, right? But the background now has this text on it. So I'm going to do Control Z, get rid of it, like that. All right, it actually Control Z'd my Control Z'd. It actually undid my label for the layer. Ace logo. All right. So now what I want to do is, now in this case, I want to say add new layer. This layer, I'm going to label that and call it text, just simply text. You could call it labels or something else, but now I can play with text. It's going to go onto this layer. I'm going to do the same thing again. The theme is you now, Ace. I didn't intend that, but that's how it's working out. All right, so ace of spades, and we'll say that it ended up here, ugly and whatever. All right, and then you decided that you don't like that at all. You had other text in other areas, and you didn't like the look of this whole thing, and I'm going to decide to take this layer and completely dump it. So let me just see down here. Right here, there's a little red X. Delete layer. Boom. Cleaned it up. All right, let's do it right this time. You see what I mean? And that's a really cool thing, like Surly Dev is mentioning. Good for text. Also, if you make a mistake with spelling, right? I'm not going to demo the spelling thing, but you get it. You get what I'm talking about. All right, so there we go. And now this time I'm going to put it in the right spot. Let's say I intended it to be here. Ace has got an artistic mind. He's probably got a better idea where to put that. Now, I pressed escape. I'm going to click my cursor there. I'm going to change my color to white. And I'm going to type the same thing again. And I'm going to take this little bar and move it to give it a 3D effect. Oh, isn't that sweet? You know, and the time to pick your color is when you're making it. If you want to do it afterwards, it is possible, but you got to use the fill tool on every letter to change the color. So do it while you're typing, right? All right. So that gives you an idea. And now we've got 3 layers. Any one of them, and here's the last thing I want to show you. Any one of them you can just uncheck and now save this image. Turn that back on, uncheck this one, save that image. Uncheck that and even turn this one off and save that. Believe it or not, that's still the proper size. It'll fit on your OBS window in exactly this location. That's actually powerful too. But anyway, look how powerful layers are. Turn them on and off and save different versions. All right, so let me show you the granddaddy of all. One of these babies right here. Let's see, Main, February, maybe this one. All right, look at the layers. And you're not seeing them all. Okay, let's move the color out of there for a minute. Let's just bring them all out. Okay, there they all are. So this was a recent stream we did on the cows, the DA40 XLS, and this is an overlay that we made. Now, to make this overlay, we made a window. In that window is the live feed from Tommy, and also the live feed from Andrew, live feed from Mike, live feed from Ace. Anybody else who was participating at the time, I could switch to their live feed. And then, of course, my own live feed of my sim can be in here. You've seen this on the MSFS official channel, you guys. That's where I first learned from Jane how to make these things. And then you notice over here, I've got a transparent window. Everywhere you see the crosshatch is a transparent window. And in that transparent window is where I'm going to put video. And behind that person's face, I'm going to put a background. All right. So I'm going to have 3 layers in OBS once I move this overlay over. But this is the overlay. You don't put the video in here. This is just a picture in Paint Shop, right? In paint.net. And so you prepare this, move it over to OBS, and now in OBS, we're going to layer in some things. So it's really cool. Those 2 things together are the most powerful things around, all right? So let's do this idea of, you know, how to set this up. So let me just give you an example here of how we can do this. You might not know how to make this dimension like this. All right, so to give you an idea of that, this, you know, I could certainly give you any of these images. To give you an idea of this, that's something that I could easily show you how to do. Watch this. I'm going to save as. I'm going to save it as a PNG file, and I'm going to save it as a sample overlay. I'll just say sample overlay. All right. I'm saving it as a PNG intentionally. All right, because it's going to save it as a single image. All right, it's going to flatten everything. Look, there it is. Now, I'm going to use this as a layer to guide me in my new overlay. All right, my new overlay. So my new overlay, if I come back to here for a second, or just pull in a new one. Let's try some new thing here. Let's just pull in some picture I can use. And I'll just go here and pick something in here. Come back in here and see what we got. Oh, it didn't go down. I've been working with the with the 60 recently, yeah. So let's take now it's because it's going to be for an overlay. I want something with clouds and grass. That's too small, actually. That's not the right dimension. Okay, give me a second, you guys. I had others planned, but you know, I like to just try stuff. Let me just give you another one. There's plenty in here of pictures that we've taken over over a period of time. For instance, let's do something like, that'll work. That will work. That's a beautiful picture, right, Andrew? This will work because I've got clouds and I've got a ground. All right, now I've opened that up. What I'm going to do is take this sample image here, only use it as a sample guideline to make our openings. That's all I'm using it for, right? So I'm going to go Control A, Control C. Again, anytime you want to copy that image somewhere else, I come over to here, and now I'm going to paste it in here as a new layer. All right, so here, paste as a new layer. Look at that. It's already beautiful. But let me just say this. The background's the part I'm going to work on. The layer is just my guideline. So this is the part that really messes people up. I mean, it really gets their head is like, wait a second, hold on a second. What exactly are you doing here? So what I'm going to do is use this guideline here. You see this border? I want to cut out my new, I'm going to just show you again. I want to cut out my new overlay from here, but I don't know where to cut. You know, you can mess around, your dimensions won't be right. You got to figure out where to cut properly. So I'm going to use this as my guideline. If I put it underneath, if I move this thing underneath, I'm going to move it down right now. If I move it underneath, you don't see it as a guideline. It's not there. I can't use it. So I'm going to move it back up. That's my guideline. But I'm going to cut on the background. Cut the holes into my background. All right. So let me just show you how easy that is. I'm going to go up here to this tool. Don't know why I highlighted everything. I've got the rectangle tool. I'm going to go into the middle of this white part. Now look what I'm on. I'm working on the background. I'm working on this image. I'm going to go here. I'm going to cut down to here. And I'm going to press delete. Boom. Now let's remove the guideline. I've already started to make my overlay. There's my cutout for the live part. I know I've wrecked the best part of the picture, but I'm going to use this picture just because of clouds and ground. All right. So next, okay, let's bring back our template. Next, I need to make two other openings right here. And then everything else is put on top, right? We don't have to do everything right now, but if you guys want to try to do the same thing. So now I want to make sure I'm working with the background. That's what I want to cut. I'm going to come over here right in the middle of the bar because I'm going to make a separate layer with the frames in a minute. So I'm just going to go here and cut that opening. I don't even have to measure like 2 inches over and 1 inch down and this over and that up. Nah, you just use the template. All right, I'm going to cut that. I'm going to come up here. This can be done in 5 minutes, but I'm showing it and talking longer. But anyway, there. Cut. Now, there's what it looks like. My overlay is already started. This looks great. I know it looks ugly, but this is actually on the path to looking great. All right. And so let's just look at our guideline again. Is there anything else I need this for? Not really. I don't really need this for anything. All right. So I'm just going to leave it alone. I only needed it for cutting. I'm going to leave it alone, or I'm going to just delete it. I don't need it. All right. So now the next thing I want to do, working with this background, is I want to put some white borders around it. It's going to be a new layer. New layer. I'm going to use the box tool. And in the box tool, I'm going to make a rectangle that's an outline. Draw filled shape. Don't draw filled shape. Draw filled shape outline. There we go. And I'm going to use a number 10 probably, I guess, from all these years of doing it. And let's see what that looks like. It is a rectangle. Is there a rounded rectangle? Rounded is better. Let's do rounded. All right. So now it's the tricky part. I'm going to try and be right on the border like this. I'm in a new layer, layer 3. Look at this. Dun, 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 dun. I'm not an artist, you guys, but look at this. I can do powerful things. It's starting to get there. I'm going to do this one now. Dun, 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 dun. Boom. Sort of. Doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's watching your stream and going, oh, you missed a spot. There we go. Oh, it's starting to look like something, and it's its layer itself. What am I going to call the layer? You guys know. This is borders. Mm-hmm. Simple. All right. That's the borders. You know, layer 2 kind of throws us off here. Let's get rid of layer 2. We don't need it. Where we're going, we don't need no stinking layer 2. So, you know, now we got what we need there. What else are we going to put in here? Well, titles or windows or something. Like even this sticking out's kind of, I don't know. I don't really like that there. You could put a logo over that. Maybe it's not the best picture to use for an overlay, right? So maybe I have to hide it with something, right? So I could go and find something to put in there. Like for an example here, let's just use this example. let's take aces. Again, we're picking on ace because I've got it here and it's handy. Control A, Control C, back to my overlay. Edit, paste into new layer. Oh yeah, it was big, wasn't it? It's a big logo. All right, there we go. But it doesn't really cover up the wing, does it? You know? It doesn't really. Oh, it's transparent too because I made it transparent. Yeah, way to go, Howard. I wrecked your logo. But so it doesn't, you know, you need something square in there, or, you know, you can't really erase that wing. It's just there. And people will ask, what is that thing sticking out, you know? So it isn't the best example, you guys. You want to use a better background than I did. But you could take, let's say it's this session, right? I'm doing something fast here because, you know, we'll end up being 6 hours for the session. I just copied it. Come back to my overlay. I'm going to paste it as a new layer and shrink it like this. And I'm going to put that right here so that they know that that's what we're watching today. I don't know, something like that. All I'm doing right now, you guys, is just patching, but you know, you would find a better image. I like this part, and I like the fact that there's ground, but you can use anything at all. Go into your sim, find the right look, take the picture, all right? I'm showing you just for practice here. All right, so now we got something to cover that up. Now I'm going to put in some kind of label, or even I've got to put in some type of background for my labels, right? So I'm just showing you how to build one from scratch, right? Rounded rectangle. This time I'm going to use this parallelogram, and I'm going to make it filled shape, and I'm going to use which color? Probably like a white would work. There we go. Oops, white. This current one up here is white. And now what does that give us? Nothing, because I'm not in the right layers. Oops. Yeah, I've got layer 3 and layer 4. Layer 3 is what? Nothing. Layer 4 is the cover up. Cover up, yep. Better label them, or else you start wondering what they are, like I'm doing right now. Okay, so this is cover logo, cover page, cover something, yeah. So I know what it is. And then layer 3, I think we didn't put anything in there. Layer 3 is nothing. Okay, so I'm going to use layer 3, and I'm going to call this labels, because I already have it. All right, so there's labels. Now I'm on that one, that's live, and I'm going to draw it right here. And you might want to square it off. You might want to leave it like that. You saw I've done effects like this. I've actually squared off this part and then left that part sticking out. But you don't have to do that. Control Z. And this time I'm going to use a normal square like that. And put a, oops, that's ugly. Okay, we're not doing that either. Let me just, what happened there? Draw shape, draw filled shape. Okay. Rounded rectangle. That should work. What's the black part in the middle? There we go. And we're going to put a label under there. All right. I actually have two labels. One's white, one's blue, but I'm going to just leave it as a white label and leave this one as a white label. A bit too wide, a bit too long. I mean, let's move that over for the person who's there. That's just giving you an idea, you guys. All right. So, and now here's where we can use this logo. Why not? Let's put this up in the upper corner. A and C again. I'm back to our here and just building it. It's kind of sloppy, but I'm showing you the mechanics of it, you guys. All right. So here, and I'm going to say paste into new layer. I already had a logo for him. Now I got rid of it. All right. New layer. Keep canvas size. And look at all the layers messed up. All right. So let's just go here. And I'm going to move that up to here. Doesn't really fit, does it? Doesn't really fit. It probably would have fit better in the middle. Yeah. So it's probably a square logo should be up there, or something square like I have Flight Simulator up there, right? And then now we'll put some text in, and the text right here, got to make sure I put in a new layer. I'm going to call this layer top text, top banner, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to use the text tool, and I'm going to use some color, or again 3D effects or whatever, right? There we go. That's all I'm going to do. All right. Now you saw that I also did something else with And I was showing you this guy here, this guy here. All right, so here's a picture that we used for Andrew's session when he showed us this airplane, when he taught this session. All right, now you notice that it's got the white around it, and that's again going to look ugly, you guys. So Control A, Control C, you get used to doing that. If I were to put that in there right now, even if I paste it as a new layer and then get rid of it, look how ugly that is. What are you going to do with that? You know, it's just ugly. It's got all that white around it. So I'm going to just get rid of the layer. I'm just going to use Control Z. It's gone. I think the layer stayed. Control Z, there we go. All right, and now this time I'm going to take it, make it transparent. We know how to do that. Boom, boom. I'm going to say Control A, Control C. I'm going too fast, and pardon me, but it's what we've been doing slowly. Now I'm going a little faster. I've already got a layer. No, I don't have a layer, so I'm going to add it into a new layer so I can get rid of it afterwards. I mean, look how gorgeous that is. It is covering up some of the words. If I could do it something like that. And a little bit's hanging out into the live screen, but I'm just showing you what's possible. Because it's a layer at the top, it can sit over top of other layers, all right? Top graphic. Because I might even change it later. I'm going to call it top graphic. I might change it to something else. So I've already got something that'll work, you guys. Here's an overlay I can now move over and use inside OBS. All I need now is OBS. I need to put in the live feed and some video faces and maybe some backgrounds for those video faces. All right. So what do you think of that so far in chat, you guys? What do you think? 52 cards in the deck. What? 52 months, 52 cards. I got it. I got it. Comments. Anybody? Comments. I'm looking in YouTube comments. I'm looking in Twitch comments. I think I put everybody to sleep. All right, so is anybody trying this? I actually like this color scheme at the top here. This is really nice. Maybe there could be a better color for the actual text. But it's just showing you the elements, you guys. This could be a square logo. This could actually be this logo could be up here, you know. And then in OBS, we can put names in here, or we can put names in here right now. All right, whatever you want to do. I mean, we could go like this. We can put in here in white, sure. In black, and change the font down to something that will fit. So 48 maybe. And now I need it really small. But I could just say Ace, but you get it. You get the idea. Too small. What was that? 20? Let's try this guy. 36 works. And you know, you probably do some better text or better colors than that. But anyway, you got some labels. And there, we're done. So, you know, that can be that fast. I mean, I'm doing it quickly because we're going to run out of time. But I want to get to OBS too, you guys. So we got to have some time for that, right? Yeah, no kidding, Strap. It just ended up being an Ace theme because I found his logo. Yeah. It's a plug for Ace. You know what? I appreciate what he does. He does Saturday streams when I can't do them. He has all the stuff to do streaming. He has better graphics. He's got all this gorgeous stuff that he does. And he takes time out of his busy schedule to do all this stuff. So I appreciate it. Why not give him a plug anyway? So you notice in here now, the only one that's not labeled is layer 5. What did I do there? Oh, that was his logo. All right. So instead of just saying Ace logo, I'm going to say top left logo. I'm just going to say top left logo because I could change it. And that's the last thing I'll show you before I save. All right. So the top left logo, let's find something else for that. Like say Microsoft's Flight Simulator logo, I guess. You know, you could go on the web and find it. Anybody can have it. I'm going to look in here for, let's see. Just type MSFS, something will come up. Oh my gosh, it's 24. Oh, here it is. Oh, it's in red for some reason. Wasn't that cute? Let's try that. Ooh, it's ugly, isn't it? Let's try it. Just for fun. We'll go over here now. Now this was top left logo. Now here's what's cool. This is to show you one more skill. So here's what's cool. I'm going to take this rectangle tool. I'm on the layer I want to be on. That's the logo, right? I want to be on this layer. I'm going to now delete it by I don't want to delete the layer. I just want to Remove the logo, because there could be other things with it. So I'm just going to remove the logo. Boom. You notice, now, let me just, it's so cool about this tool. So let's say I wasn't so precise. Let's say I was like, okay, let's remove the logo. It looks like I'm going to wreck the whole page, right? It's only on this layer. The only thing on the layer right now is this logo. So it's only going to take the logo. Is that cool or what? This is what's cool about layers, is that you can be sloppy. You're only going to delete stuff on that layer, and we've got the undo tool if we need it, right? So that's pretty cool. Now I'm going to take this guy. Looks like it's transparent already. Control A, C, again, the same old procedure. And now I'm going to paste that into the same layer. So I don't have to say make new layer. I just have to say paste. All right. There it is. Oh, this is awesome. And then now I'm just going to size it up again. I'm using Shift and I'm holding the corner. Shift, hold the corner. Oh, that looks so professional, doesn't it? I know I'm kidding myself, you guys, but did you show how to make the frames? I did, Paul. Did you have the pencil and the paper in your hand, man? And
Paul had to take a phone call, so he
oh,
missed
you
it.
did that? Oh, you missed that. Okay, too bad. So sad. So let me just show you guys. I'll just do it again. So let's take the border one right here. I'll just start it. I won't make the whole thing again, but let's take the border one and take it off. And so what I did, Paul, we'll take the airplane to the top graphic out of there so it's not in the way. And we'll move this a little further. Let's make sure we're on the right one. This is called borders. Well, I'm going to make a new one just so I can get rid of it. New layer. All right, new layer is layer 8. I'm going to say delete me. Then I know to get rid of it afterwards, right? There's the delete me. Now I'm going to use this one to make the new borders. I'm going to use these tools down here. These are all rectangles and circles and anything else you might need. These are really handy. And I'm going to use the rounded rectangle, which is the second one here. Rounded rectangle. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pick, I'm going to draw shape outline. I don't want to fill it, and I don't want to fill it with an outline. I want to draw a shape outline only. I want it to be white, and I want it to be a number 10. Number 10 seems to work for me. I'm going to position here. I'm in the right layer. That's the delete me layer, and I'm going to go like that. And I can't see for what's going on down there. I'm going to take a guess because I'm going to delete it afterwards. And there's one border. While I'm in the same tool, second border, same tool, third border. And the borders are handy because as you overlay things, they might stretch into the border, but the border's going to hide it. The border is nice, just like when you're doing construction, you guys. Trims everywhere, hide all the screws and the nails and the rough edges, right? And so that's a good thing. And I like the rounded one. It looks really nice. So that's how you do it, Paul. Now, in this case, I'm going to delete it. So I've got it clicked. I could just hide it and say I don't need it, right? But I'm just going to, it's a delete me, so I'm going to get rid of it. It's gone. And I'm going to turn back my other borders. There they are. All right, the final step, everybody, if this is the way you like it, maybe later you're going to do something else with it. I'm just going to close my layers for a minute. Just a minute. Top graphic, put that back on, right? Top text was here. The top graphic is the layer I want to be in for the moment. Let's just go over here for now. I want to put the headset over here. Oh yeah, you got to put the headset in, Howard. You know, paint.net, paint.net. Oh, how about a microphone? Let's put a microphone in there. I like that microphone, Mike. And now I'm going to come over here. My overlay. I'm already in the top graphic layer. Paste. And keep canvas size. It's a huge microphone. And bring it down. And tilt it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, maybe this way. And a little further. I think that might be okay. If there was a reason to have a microphone there. Okay. Border with Forder. There we go. Border with Forder. And there's the mic's mic. That's Mike's mic. And there we go. So you guys, now we just like close everything up and go, okay, how's it looking? How's it looking? Oh, I am so impressed. Well, I could have done something better with the text. Probably done something better with those labels too. But you know, you can sit and be criticized, but that's all the mechanics of it all. Save as, I'm going to save it first in its normal form, but I'm going to call it something, and I'm going to put it into the topic at hand. I have all these different areas. Tuesday, Starship, Tuesday, every Tuesday I do something, right? And I have huge folder structures in there for each one of these. So if this were being used for today's session, I'm going to put it in the OBS paint.net session. So that's where it is. And it is actually working with layers. I'm going to throw it in here with the other overlays. And I'm going to call this one the demo overlay. And I'm going to use this to actually stream. Demo overlay, there we go. Save. Now that's in the PDN format, which can't be used in OBS, but now I'm going to save as in PNG, and that's going to be my final product. Now, the nice thing is you can alter things, play with all of your layers, and then save it again as a different overlay with a different title and a different graphic. You can just keep reusing this one so you don't have to start from scratch like I just did, right? You can never have too many mics, you know what I mean? So that's the paint program and playing with layers. I'm not sure what else you want to need there. We've done almost everything you can think of. And maybe this VOD's going to be important because you're going to have to pause and try stuff, Isn't that a beautiful sunset? All right, so the next part we want to talk about, we got to get broadcasting, you guys, you know what I mean? And so let's just go back to here. So we made transparencies. So there was a good example of Ace's logo, making a transparency. All right. And the sample overlay, this was the Lancaster one here. We made our own. Look at the layers on this one, you guys. Look at the layers on here. And it's still more. Look, there's a scroll bar. There was a lot in here. Yeah. And this was also another example where you take the airplane and make it into a transparent. I found it as a free image somewhere, like freeimage.ping or something. I forget what it's called. But you could easily open that one up in here. Layers, maybe it's in here. Maybe it's in here. I thought I had it. I could go play with it. No, I guess not. Just that one. Okay. Not in OBS, is it? No. Okay. I thought I had it nearby so I could play. Just a minute. It might be in downloads. Hey, there's Wombi. Look at him. Here's an example. Oh, isn't he a good-looking dude, right? So look at this. We'll just go like this. Now, I go to put him inside that window, which I did with his session, and there's white all around him. So I want him to see the background behind him. Look how easy this is. I still see some artifacts in there. So, you might need it's not a pure white background. But if you want to do a picture of somebody, make sure they got some kind of pure background. White is always good. Green is even better. Hit delete. Not that noticeable, so it looks all right. And then I could take that now. Control A, Control C. Come back to this. Paste into a new layer because I'm going to put it in a certain level and behind. Keep the canvas size. Wow! Ole moly, man! I get to meet people really up close and personal. Where did it go? There it is. I could probably do a percentage on it, but I'm just going to do this. I'm just shrinking it with the old shift. Oh, this is tough to do, but there we go. That's probably the right size. And it's still too big. Okay. And make it a little bigger. The nice thing about this too, you can even make them come out of the window, which is a nice effect also, right? Almost like they're coming right at you. And then now I put some other background behind them as another layer. Is that cool or what? So you can see how powerful this is, you guys. Now, I usually do this when a person can't do video. I've done a couple streams like that, or I do it as a backup when a person, their video drops. I have this handy. I always ask every guest to give me a snapshot of your face so that I can put that in as a backup, right? Borders with Forder. Here we go, Mike. Anyway, that just gives you an idea how that works, you guys. The Lancaster, it was a white background plane against a white cloud, I guess, or where it was, and I just simply took it and made it transparent. It was a little trickier because when it has glass cockpits, like the dome at top and the front and all, it's very hard to make those transparent because you got to click inside and you got to really zoom in and you got to really play with it. All right, smaller transparent windows, save both, you got the idea. All right, so that's what we did. We created transparent windows with paint.net and it was a piece of cake, right? Just a face double, yeah. So now we're gonna go look at OBS. This is where you download it. There was a link earlier. Hopefully you got it. And go get OBS. So this is the software I'm using for broadcasting. There are others. This is the most common on Twitch. and on YouTube. I mean, I'm using a plugin for YouTube right now to simultaneously broadcast to both YouTube and Twitch. Once you have OBS, Open Broadcast Studio, Open Broadcast Software Studio, then you can do and make your own overlays. Here's an overlay we did for formation flying with Steve Solo. Look at this. Look at how intricate this was. This was a lot of fun. I'm not showing you the layers on this one. Now you're seeing the overlay with his profile picture and the background I'm using for my video. You're seeing all of this now, and it's showing up inside OBS. This is OBS. And I don't want you to get intimidated by all this. First of all, the picture itself was what you made in Paint, and you could have taken days, whatever it takes. I did mine in what, an hour? I should have done it in a half an hour, but I talked about it. But now I've got the whole frame that I need to work with, and this will end up being the live screen while he's teaching his formation flying session, right? So this is cool. Look, I just threw my logo in here, his logo up here, and a couple pictures he sent me. I merged them in and put them up here. I went and found each one of their Discord logos, and I put them all in here. And those guys were on voice with us. It was pretty cool. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. So let's go see how this looks. Whatever you use in here, I'm also going to teach you how to stream to me, and you can test that. We're going to start with a test first with Mike to show Mike can stream to me with using the new URL that I'm going to give you for tonight. And then we'll test anybody else who's doing this and wants to test to me their stream. Then we can do that quick test as we finish the stream. All right, so streaming to my channel. This is how it would work if you are a guest pilot. This is one of the first guest pilot streams that I did. A very similar kind of theme to what happened on the MSFS official channel. But in this case, I'm the host. And in this case, back then I was a lot younger. And in this case, then we had Floxtrot. Floxtrot, the streamer, was our guest. He was our moderator at the time, and he was our guest streamer. And guess what? This sparked him. He sent his screen to me, and it sparked him to start streaming, and he's now a full-fledged streamer in his own right. Makes his own graphics, makes his own stuff. This is, I put an image behind him in the layers. I put an image behind him of the museum where the spruce goose lives. This was actually a group flight to the museum where the spruce goose lives. I actually have been here, and we both shared photos of us being there in this session. But the point was, it was a very simple overlay, same idea that we just did just now, and it was easy enough. If you are streaming to me your sim, and you are providing me with a picture or a video, and you're the lead pilot, you would show up here. It's as easy as that, right? So give me your still image just in case your video dies, and then we'll work from there. All right, so let me show you how to do that. First of all, you got to download the product, which you already have, you guys. Here you see a picture of the Launchpad 39A with SpaceX. And I'm going to go pretty quickly. I want to go into this part. I want to focus on this part now. So let me just give you an idea of, here's the product. I'm just going to go straight to the product now. If I can get it coming up on my screen. All right, let's use this method. I got so many windows open right now. Let's go over to, maybe I don't have it running. That's why I don't see it. Yep, it's not actually running right here. OBS, yep, there it is. So here's OBS running. Now it's running. Oof, do that. Let's find a different background. There we go. Okay, let's grab a different front display. This one. Okay, that one will work. That way we're not getting that. If I'm showing this screen behind, it ends up showing in here also. So I'm just going to use this one. So what I've done here is, I'm just going to expand that. What I've done here is just added, from scratch, I've added everything that's needed to make a stream happen. In this case, this is an overlay from something else from you can see from what that is. So what I want to do, you guys, and I'm going to just, it's all here in the presentation, but I'm just going to demonstrate the whole thing from scratch, all right? Because it's faster and easier. We don't have a lot of time left, so I want to make sure we have enough time to focus on this, right? This is actually just a screen that's got pieces of it in the way. Let me move that over. What else is in the way? This is in the way here. What is that? Oh, that's the YouTube part. Okay. Can I get that out of the way? No. this. Ah, what is that? Okay, let's get rid of it. Let's make it. There we go. And now it's nice and clean. So let me just walk through what needs to be done in OBS. We already have the image ready to put in here. What we need to know is how do we take this tool now and stream it to Howard or stream it to Twitch? Those are the two things we need to know. All right, so the first thing I want to do is start a new profile. All right, we're going to start from scratch. Don't worry about what's here already. So I'm going to take a new profile. I'm going to say new, and I got to give it a name. And I'm going to say you're going to make two profiles. One profile says stream to Howard in case you ever want to. And tonight you can try that before we finish. I'm going to uncheck the auto configuration wizard. It can go through and find stuff for you, but we can add stuff easily. Stream to Howard. The name's already in use. Okay, so I must have it here already when I did a test. Sorry guys, it's way over here on the far left. You don't see it? Well, those are all the scenes. Okay. Scene collection. Stream to Howard. Okay. So there it is, and it's actually taking the screen behind. So let me just get rid of this. Sim screen, go to a different one. All right, so again, I'm going to stretch that out. It's at least filling the screen. All right, let me start with that, you guys. So what I've done here is I've got two scenes, all right? Now, the first thing I said we would do is we go up here to the profile, make a profile, go new, profile, new, and say stream to Howard. You're going to put different settings in each profile. So I have a profile, you can see all the profiles I have here. I've got Howard stream, the MSFS official stream, if I still knew their key. A second stream we use for testing. One that's untitled, a standard display when I record for YouTube. But this is called stream to Howard, all right? Now, in the stream to Howard, now I'm going to make a scene collection. So these two things are all we care about at the moment, profile and scene collection. Because a scene collection is a collection of sources. Those sources will become the scene. And this is exactly what they do in production when they're broadcasting. They will have different scenes that they have everything set up properly already. The camera angles, the artifacts, the graphics, the lower thirds, all that stuff is what they already have in normal TV broadcasting. So I want you to think about this tool now as your TV broadcaster, because that's exactly what it is. You're broadcasting your desktop and possibly your video and possibly your voice out to somewhere, either to Twitch or to me, all right? In this case, you're going to stream to me, and I'm going to use it in our group Fly. That would be an example, and tonight I can use it as a test, right? So I'm going to say stream to Howard as the first one. The second scene that I'm going to make, the scene collection, the second scene collection I'm going to make is called stream to Twitch, all right? And so this would be whatever the name of your, I think I have a Howard one, test flyer, Elaine test, standard for other streams. Yeah, there we go. So when you're over here now for your scenes, all you have to do is hit the plus symbol. So I already have the right profile. Let's focus here. Profile is stream to Howard. Now I make a scene called stream to Howard right here and put in the scene name. Once I have the scene name, I got to add some sources. So you see, you're just working like you do a read a book. You go from left to right. All right. You're just going to go left to right. First make a profile, then make a scene, but don't make a scene. And then we're going to make some sources to go with it. Right now, what am I going to send out to, in this case, to Howard, right? So you can see here, I've got simulator audio. I've got a display capture. And I've got game capture. Now, my game capture isn't working because the sim isn't working right now. But it will pick up flight simulator. I've got it set for simulator. So let me show you these. I'm going to actually delete them and show you them in Scratch or remove here. Are you sure? Are you sure? Remove. And then I did a test earlier to make sure this would work, right? Because we want to make sure it's going to work. Where's my remove? Right here. Okay. So we start out with a brand new scene, just like this one. Stream to Twitch is going to be a brand new scene also. But anyway, we're going to go to stream to Howard, make a new source. There's two things you need to send to me. You need your sim. You need your sim audio. All right, those two things. So we're going to start with the sim first. Now, there's two ways to do this. There's one way is to pick up the screen where it's always on. That way you can drag photos in front of it. Or just pick up the actual application. All right. So display capture picks one of your displays. If we say display capture simply like that, then it says, okay, which one? Right now it's picking the one that's behind, or that one, or that one, or that one. These are all like G1000 screens or whatever, or the primary monitor itself, which is the one I'm on right now. All right, so you would pick a screen. All right, we'll leave it at that junky screen. Now it doesn't really fit, and the reason it doesn't fit, these are my G1000 screens that are not the same as my normal bigger monitors, so they don't really fit. If I wanted to show you my G1000 screen, it's not the right dimension for this, for broadcasting, right? So really what I should be picking here is one of my other screens, like this guy there, that fills the screen. All right, and you notice it's got a red border for now. That means that it's unlocked. I can stretch it and move it. I can put it into a quarter, put another screen in another quarter. You can play with this. I'm just going to lock it. Lock it takes away the red bars, and now it's locked into place. Let's say that's my display that my sim is always going to run on. The second method, I'm just going to use the eyeball to hide it. It just turns it off. The second method is to actually capture the game. Game capture means an executable is all it really means. And we're just going to say sim capture. And now capture any full screen application. Well, it's not any full screen. We're going to capture a specific window or a specific game. There's no game running right now, so I can't do it. All right. So I want to be able to capture a specific one. And I right now I can't because it's not running. So let me show you the example of what was there. I'm going to add game capture here, sim capture here. And if we look at the properties, okay, I can't show it to you because we don't have it. I should have had the sim running, you guys. But anyway, sim capture will capture it for you. I'm going to remove the second one here. In this case, I'm going to turn off the game capture. It's actually good because nothing else that's running will be affecting it. It'll be just the sim, but I'm going to put on display capture and my sim can run on there, which is what I usually do. Now, the second thing you need is sound. So I'm just going to go in here and say, what can I add in now? I'm going to add in audio output capture. I'm just going to call it audio output capture, or maybe even sim audio is probably better. Now, again, I've already used that here. I should have removed everything that I already started. Add existing. Oh, it's not there. I tried to grab it, but it said it's already used. Just call it audio. And in this case now, it says default, whatever your default audio is for your system, but it's going to cause grief when you use your microphone and you're talking to a stream, plus you're picking up your microphone in OBS with your game, right? And that, so you want to be able to use something different. So you can pick a specific microphone. Let's say that it's, what have I got working here that I can use? They're all coming from Voice Meter. Maybe one of my cameras, like the Logic camera. This is my audio output. I'll just use speakers for now. But I think there's a new, I don't even know if it's new, but there's a beta capture right here. Application audio. This is what we should be using, you guys. Application audio capture. This is the one that will pick up a specific application that's running, and I don't have the sim running, but let's just pick up, we'll just say Chrome, and we'll play something like an audio file. Like this one. That should be playing now. See this happening here, and you probably don't hear it because I'm not sending it over. Okay, I can send it over though. You guys hear that? Should be music playing. All right, so that's what that is. And so now I've got the application audio. In this case, I picked Chrome, but I would have picked my sim. I've got the sim capture if the sim was running, and now I can send those out. Right, that's stream to Howard. So those two are set to go. Let's go over to stream to Twitch. Now, stream to Twitch can be the same things again, but now you want to use an overlay, right? Typically, all right, because it's your own thing. So we're going to put an image in, and that image is going to be Twitch overlay. Now, overlays I do OL Backgrounds I do BG, so I have this short form, but I'm going to use the full words here. And I'm going to go pick up my layered, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous overlay right here. Look at that. Look at that. It's starting to look pretty professional, isn't it? Now, my screen behind is full. You can see it's behind here, which is not a bad effect, but as people are flying, their airplane will show up in all three windows. All right, so I want to take that display now, right here, simulator display capture. Oops. Unlock it and resize it down to that white window. This up. I can see it's still too big. Take it down a little more. It's really big. Holy moly, the dimensions are not right. What's with that? We're gonna have to make it fit like this. Usually, yeah, this is something's happening there. My dimensions are wrong. I guess I'm picking up the wrong screen again. I am. That's the wrong display. That's why it doesn't fit. Let's go with a normal display like this. The primary monitor. No. Go with this guy. Sure. And now it's going to fit properly because it's the right dimension. Again, it threw me off, you guys. I've got two Real Sim Gear G1000s, which are smaller screens in front of me, and they have the bezels, and they are not the same dimensions. So, you know, you'd want to make sure your windows are made for this display you're going to show. This one here happens to be the music that's playing. And you notice that I'm moving the red bars underneath the white bars, underneath the white borders. You see that? Oh, this is actually Twitch happening. That's cool. That's one of my other monitors right now. Okay. And so now, once you've got it positioned the way you want to, you just lock them in. All right, when you lock it in, you notice the border cleans up that edge. Look, it's beautiful. So now I've got something happening. I got, what was the music that we were playing earlier? Let's just do an audio output here. Add existing, we'll just call it audio. And now I've got the music coming into, or maybe not. Anyway. You do the game capture image on here. So now what we see two black screens here. There's where you'd put cameras. So we want to add a camera in. So we would go like display, no, down here, Windows, video capture. And I'm going to make that existing because I think I still have one here. No, create new. I'm just going to say my cam. Hopefully this will work. It might be taken. There it is. And you can see some posters on my wall and a green screen. But this is a different camera, you guys. This one here is different than what you're seeing on the stream. So this is different in a different OBS on a different machine. And I'm just going to use it because it's here. Now I'm going to resize that like this. Oops, that didn't work so well. Control. Yep, control. Control. In Paint.net it was Shift mouse. Here it's Control mouse to make it the right size. All right, I'm going to bring that down to here. Put it into the window. Oh, that's actually pretty good already. Okay. And then I'm going to let it go. Now, it should not be, I got it fit beautifully, but it might override on top of your borders. It's best to push it behind the borders. So it should go behind your overlay. All your graphics now should be going behind your overlay. So I'm going to move it from here. Let's say it is a bit bigger and it's the wrong dimension. All right. So if I left it like that, I've lost my border and it doesn't look very nice. So what I want to do is unlock it. And then I want to move it down below the overlay. So I'm just going to go 1, 2. And look how that fits. Now I'm going to lock it in and it fits beautifully now. Now, I might not want it to see the posters on my wall, right? So what I want to do now, I'm just playing. What I want to do now is just take that and Alt-click. Alt-click is trim. Trim it down to my green screen. Like that. Sort of. There's still a blind there, but that'll work. Lock it in place. I don't want to lock it yet. I've got to resize. I better turn off the music. Is it too loud? You guys hear it? Yeah, you're hearing it. All right, so make it like this. Something like this. Now, it's got a green screen, so I should have fixed that with some... I'll show you right now. I'm just going to go to Filters. I'm clicking on my cam. Go to Filters. I'm going to add a filter, and I'm just simply going to do the green screen thing. Render gain. way in there. Sorry, I'm really reaching in, you guys. Wow, I don't see it. Limiter, noise gate, noise, video, async compressor. What's going on? I don't see it anywhere. Expand it. If I scroll it. Huh. Audio, video. Here. That's why. Okay. So chroma key is the secret. Down here, you guys, not up there. That's audio filters. These are the filters I want. Chroma key. And it's just called the chroma key. And I'm going to use green. And right now, I still see the background. So I want to get rid of this background behind me. I'm just going to use this. And now it's dark. It might not be right, you guys. This cheap camera I got here is just for, it's really just for a head tracker. So I'll try that just to give me an idea. And you notice now I've got this black background, which was behind me. Let me just go here. And now I want to put some image behind me. Matter of fact, this is not right either. It's still, that's right. Okay, so I want to put one image behind me just to clean up the black part. All right, so let's go find an image and throw it in there. Any old image will do. I'm just going to go find an image. I'm going to call it BG, background. It's going to call it background for video. And now we'll just go and browse. You can use any of these you want. I'm going to go find something in my overlays area. Pictures. Overlay. Right here. Overlays. And in here I've got something I think I can use. Hey, there's Wombi. And there's Andrew. Let's throw him in the other one. Yeah, you know. So a solid image is good. These are not good. These are just overlay images. Think of where I have the other ones. Oh, the Lancaster one has some, don't they? Let's throw a Lancaster image in there. Let's just use that. Now, it's really too big. I'm going to control that, bring it down so it can cover the back of my screen. That doesn't have to fit, just has to be like that. And then now move it behind everything. All right, so you notice that there's my camera here, and here's what I want to move. So it's highlighted, down, down, and it's already fitting. Behind, I want it behind the camera though. There we go. So, you know, look how that looks. And let's get rid of the background again, lock it. And there you have another background. Now you could, what I've done before is take this background you see behind you in the paint program. When I cut out this part here, I keep it and I make it my background. So it actually looks like the same as the background. It's actually a nice effect. So you could do that also, right? And then one final step before we broadcast, and now we got to go to the settings. We got time. We're going to go to settings. Give me a second. I want to go get another image. I'm going to call this one, I'm going to call it Andrew Mug. And in the, I just saw it when I went through pictures back here. Right there. Saw him. There he is. And I'm going to use that in the upper one. I want just his face, so I'm going to probably do that. Let's push it back behind the overlay. 1, 2, like that. And we'll shrink it down so we see his whole face. Control, mouse. And we still don't want to see any black on this one because he's got the whole picture behind him. It's not a transparent background, so we want to bring that back up. And then move it behind the borders. So that would be behind, it's already behind the overlay. Oh, I see. We just have to unlock it. There we go. And there we go. Well, that's not Ace, is it? Now I really confused you guys. Hey, Cool Joe, how you doing? Music's still at it. Okay, I already turned it off, right? Is that an old message, Super Ty? Sorry. Okay. So.
Yeah, music's off.
Okay, thanks. So I stumbled around a bit, you guys, because the audio part I haven't, it's not right on this computer. It's my sim computer and the sim's not running. So that I should have had the sim running to make this happen. And that way you can see how to send it. But I've got something on my screen, something on here I can use. That's this screen over here. It's a live feed. And I've got my live video here. I've got some audio here. It says sim audio, but it seems to be bringing my microphone in. I could do a microphone only. So I could just do an audio output and just pick a mic. but I'll leave it at that for now. And so now I'm ready to stream on Twitch, if that's where I was going to stream. All right, so let me give you an idea how that works. I can't give you a key, of course, to stream on Twitch. But if you're streaming on Twitch, we're going to go to settings down here. This is in my presentation, but I'm showing you live. Going down to settings down here in the right corner. In the settings area, I'm going down to stream. In the stream area, this doesn't matter if I show you this because it's my local IP address and you can't get at it. So I'm not worried about that. This is a test for me to stream over to the live stream. I've got custom and that. Now this is not Twitch. This is Stream to Howard. All right. So this is what it should be for this scene. That scene right there, which has no audio, no picture, no anything. And if I stream right now, it will send it. Let me just have a look at settings. It should still be there. It will send it over to my real machine. So let me just send it now and try that. Start streaming. I should end up with green bars down here. Having trouble. It's not working. Let's just go have a look. Could be up here. Ah, that's you, Mike. You're streaming to us. Is that ever nice? That's cool. That's Mike, you guys, streaming to us with this session, knowing what's happening. He's been working. Yeah, that's why mine can't go, because Mike's streaming. You can't stream to the same using the same port. We're using both the same configuration. Yeah, just I like yours better than mine. Mine's just a basic screen, but just stop for a moment.
Okay.
And once that's stopped, here we go. Then I'm going to say start streaming. And now you're going to see what you're seeing here, you guys. This whole overlay thing is what's going to show up now. So I'm going to say start streaming. 1, 2, 3, start streaming. There it is. 1, 2, and you can see 3, up above 4. Me here. There it is. You can see. And you can see up above me here. And you can see. You can hear the delay too. And you can see. You can hear the delay too. So I'm streaming from one machine to the other. So I'm streaming from one machine to the other. Seeing me in two screens, isn't it? And freaky seeing me in two screens, isn't it? That echo's driving me nuts. And so that echo's driving me nuts. There's a delay. There's always going to be a delay when you stream, just like there is with Twitch. There's always going to be a delay when you stream, just like there is with Twitch. 4 to 7 seconds later that you see it. 4 to 7 seconds. Now I'm streaming from my one machine. Now I'm streaming from my one machine. From that one to you guys, there's a delay. So we have to account for that when we're actually streaming. So, but it's working. You're seeing my sim machine. But it's working. You're seeing my OBS now streaming out to my main Twitch machine. Now streaming out. You're seeing two really complex things going on there. I'm going to stop streaming now. I should go back to my normal background like that. And now Mike can stream to us. Let's see what Mike's looks like. If you're ready with the switch there, Mike, if you're still with us.
Paul's got something to set up too, I think.
Oh, cool. Paul's ready to go too, right? Yeah, it's true, Ace. Yeah. First thing you learned was streaming 1,001 ways to cause an echo or audio loop. Happens to everybody, right? Happens to everybody. So right now, Mike, Andrew, and I, and Ace, when he's not working, he can be on here too in audio and video. And we're on a Zoom call, so I pull in their Zoom into one of the windows. And so, like you've seen with Andrew too, when we go to Andrew's screen here, Andrew's there in one window. There he is flying with he's sending me his stream of his sim. He's sending me audio from his sim, and he's sending a separate video and audio feed from his mic and his video. We'll help you with that when you go to do a guest stream with us. If you want to come on and do a guest stream and take us somewhere that you know, we will do that, and we'll put you in the proper windows like we did with the overlay, right? We take a look at Mike's screen right here. Here's Mike. This is the stuff he just made today. This is his favorite plane and his background, and he's put in a couple of windows. He didn't make an overlay like I did, but he made something, whatever it is that he wants to make, whether he's streaming to somebody else or whether he's streaming to Twitch. It's whatever he's put together, and he could be experimenting here. It's really cool. He's pulled in a window that shows the dashboard. He's pulled in a window that shows a view. And he's got the image in the background that shows his favorite plane. It's kind of cool. So look at the layers, you guys. Now this is in Paint. This is in Paint.net while he's broadcasting from OBS. And you can see the layers in the upper right. He's got 4 layers that he's made now. And he could turn off any one of those layers as he goes along and play with that. He's actually doing really well in this. It's pretty cool.
Okay. That's interesting.
What's happening? What do you got, Andrew? Don't lead us like that. You're gonna leave us in suspense.
Just
Your window's dirty on your plane. Okay,
yeah,
what else? Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Look at
It's
the
leftovers from
look at the field, you guys.
FS weekend, because this is where it was. Was it at Earlystad?
Is that cool or what? Say Intentions logo. Look at that, Mike. Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Is that at least ad?
Yeah, it's leftovers from the.
It says FS weekend further down.
scenery.
Yeah.
Yep.
Say Intentions there and
Yeah,
FS
'Cause
weekend
it says
further down.
FS weekend further down.
Now that'll be
Right.
injected. That'll be injected from Say Intentions because they can inject anything into the sim, you guys, from animals to whatever. They put spots on these runways. They put spots on it if they were needed for that weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, if you keep going, Andrew, there's a little racetrack where I did about 100 laps in the cross cart.
Wow.
Well, which one? There's
We want
three
video
over
of
there.
that. We want video of
Yeah,
that,
there it
Mike.
is right there.
That's the
There
racetrack
is
there. Yeah.
video in our St. Intentions archive somewhere that we were laughing at.
Oh, that's cool. We'd love to see that video, Mike.
So there's one there.
You should-
There's
you should-
one there,
You should restream it,
and
and
there's another really big one back over there.
we'll watch your stream. Yeah. So you see, but apart from the beautiful visuals and what's going on, you guys, it's you can see it's smooth, it's beautiful. Andrew's sending his stream to me, and I'm restreaming it to you out in Twitch right now live. And this is one of the draws we've had on our channel for years, is the fact that we can technically do that. We know how to do that. So now I'm going to give you guys the key to do that. If you've got an OBS you want to try right now, I'm going to give you the key so that you can send it to us also. All right. And so for that, Mike, I'm going to have you undo. I'm going to have you stop yours for the moment. Let's see right here. Yeah, you did. Yeah. And then whoever streams next, it'll pop up here behind me. All right. So now let me just show you how to do that so we can do a test, you guys. I know there's a lot here. You're probably going to come back to the VOD and have to go through it a bit slower. And I do apologize. It's a lot of stuff in one place. Grab this presentation because it's got everything explained really slowly. Here's the actual key that you need. Where have I got that where I can copy and paste it? Let me just grab that out of my notepad. Hold on, you guys. This is what you're going to put in. Sorry, what's that?
Yes, I can put it in there if you want.
Yeah, you've got the same thing already sitting in your OBS, right? So this is
Yeah.
exactly what you're going to use, you guys. Only one person can use it at a time. This is a temporary URL that I've made for today that I'm going to get rid of after today. All right. If you are going to come and stream to us, I'll be giving you your own stream key. Right. But for now, this is a generic one we'll use and then I'll destroy afterwards. Right. So that'll work. So you can see what he's done now. Some of it came up as a link and some of it didn't. You see that?
I just copy and paste that.
Yeah, the whole 9710 didn't come over. So if you guys want to try that stream key, copy the whole thing from the end of the 600,000 to all the way to this SRT. Copy that whole thing as Mike pasted it. And we're going to paste it into the stream settings under custom. Do you see that? So we're going to go to settings. You see on my screen, settings down here. Stream when that pops up. Service is going to be custom. I think it defaults to Twitch, but pick custom. Paste this in here. And then OK. All right. I'm going to hold that screen for the moment for anybody who wants to try that. Paul, did you say you were going to try it? Alien Earth starts tonight? What does that mean, Drama? What does that mean? Alien Earth starts tonight. Oh, that must have been an ad. Okay, sorry. I have no control of that. It's the Twitch thing, right? So, just see what I can do here. I was going to try and gift you a sub. For some reason, it won't let me. I was going to give you a trial sub for now, but someone can help me with that. In my as the stream owner, I have some gift subs I can give. I'm not sure how to give them, so I'll have to figure that out, you guys. But that'll get rid of your ads for you. And those, you know, most of the people you're seeing in chat right now are actually supporters of the stream. Oh, you just subscribed. How did that happen? It wasn't from me, right? Did that work? That's nice.
No,
Thanks
it's
for
Mike.
that. Oh, thanks, Mike, for doing that. I'm going to try and figure out how to give away the ones I have ready. So I'm leaving this up until somebody actually streams. So once you put this in here and say, okay, then look at this button down here. You just say start streaming. All right, you're not going to wreck anything, you guys. Just make sure you don't have graphics that are objectionable, obviously. And if that happens, then you would never come back on this channel again. You'd be banned for life, just so you know. We have moderators that are vicious, and I've asked them to be vicious because we can't have that happen even once, all right? So just be careful, be respectful. Give us something that's other than something that could be really objectionable, all right? Invalid path or connection URL, Paul. Okay.
And Paul, make sure you're putting that in the server, not the stream key.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good
Under
point.
Custom service.
Yeah, stream key would be empty.
Yep. Exactly what you see here, server. Yeah.
If it does have anything in the stream key, erase it.
Yep. You don't need authentication. You just have to say okay, and that should work. Yeah, that's what you did. Okay. How did they know, Paul? I guess they know you, right? Yeah, vicious, vicious. Well, to have a clean channel, you guys, you have to be vicious because there are people who do want to sabotage you. That's actually a good suggestion there in YouTube. Clear prop live streams. Thanks for that. Right click, fit to screen. Nice. I should show that too. Yeah, and George MOV, this is OBS I'm using. You can use Streamlabs, and there are other tools too. I'm using OBS because I've been using it from the start. Yep. And Mike, thanks for posting that in YouTube also. Beautiful. So
Paul, make sure you have the SRT:// in there too, Paul.
Yep, the whole thing. Yep, exactly as he pasted it. So you guys make sure anybody who wants to try this right now, as soon as you hit start streaming, you'll come in first, and Paul will have to wait. I'm so mean. But anybody who wants to try it before we finish up, just come over here. If you were going to Twitch, I'll carry on for the rest of us. If you were going to Twitch, you guys, for the service, you would just say Twitch, and it would figure it out for you. You would use either an account or you'd use your stream key. Most times we just use our stream key, and the stream key can be found in your Twitch settings. So down here on this screen behind me here, oh, I'm in the way. In this screen here, I could move over to the classroom for a second. Yeah, let's come over here and then you'll see it. I'll get out of the way. So in this screen here, you can see that on this your stream creator dashboard down here under settings, stream, you can find your stream key and you can copy it without even looking at it. All right, so you're just going to use the copy button. Now you're going to use stream key up here in OBS and just paste it. And this is how I did it on the MSFS official channel too. She sent me the key. I didn't have to see the key. I just used it to broadcast on their channel. And then they just simply changed the key later when I'm not broadcasting anymore and there's no need for me to have it. Let's see what you guys are saying in here. Okay. Catching up here. It's not working. Okay. So, Paul, let me just come back a bit, just see what's going on here. So, again, that should be the only thing that's in there. I'm just wondering if it's firewall for you, but custom server. Paste that in with nothing else in there. Oh, right. The SRT part's not here. Look at this. Yep.
Yeah, but it's in my link though.
It's in your link, yeah, but that's really misleading, isn't it? For anyone else who's trying it right now. Let me just come over here. Very fair to do that. Here. Here we go. Now, where to fit it in?
Paul, put in 2 slashes.
Yep. So it's just like HTTP, you guys. It's like any website.
But there's only one in the
Oh, and the one you pasted?
Yeah, I just used one.
Oh, why? Okay. Gotta have 2 after any protocol. So SRT:// like you see on my screen, you guys. Okay, there we go.
Wonder why it works for me. I've always done one.
Really?
Yeah.
I had one because I erased backwards too far, and it wouldn't take it. As soon
It
as I
shouldn't
put it
take
back
it.
in
I'm
with the
surprised it
cycle,
works.
It
Yeah.
went.
Yeah, I'm surprised that worked. Well.
So Paul's in.
All right, Paul's in. All right, let's go find it over here. And There's Paul's screen. Look at you, man. You're streaming. And we probably can't hear your voice. I mean, it's there, but I'm not getting audio from you, so from that stream. So that's okay. Look at that. He's led us on a lot of streams, you guys. He's been in our overlays, right? And there he is with his own overlay. That's cool. That's neat. Look, he's making 4 windows in there too with borders, you know. And this is all experimentation, you guys. Keep playing until you get it, you know. So what you're seeing with me is I've made so many overlays, probably a few hundred, that it's easy enough to just draw borders. I can actually make an overlay in about 10 minutes without speaking. As soon as you start explaining, right, Paul? That's cool. Let's give a big round of applause because Paul did it. Yoo-hoo! Nice. You can see it's a live screen behind him too. All right. So anybody else want to try? Just tell us in chat, and we will make sure that Paul disconnects so that we can see someone else try it. Yeah, you didn't add audio, and that's fine. That's great. But you know how to do it now, so. Maybe start with a timeout. Yeah, I think Srap, let's give Mike a timeout. Okay, Paul, if you wouldn't mind just stopping that, and I'll just finish up this session today. Just to finish up, you guys, I want to mention this. I added this in just probably 5 minutes before the stream started because I'd forgot to mention the recording part. I did mention you can record with the same screen instead of broadcasting. You can see right here, instead of start streaming, you just say start recording, and it will record the same thing. And now you've got a file you can use. And this file can be used later in lots of things. You can edit it, you can send it to YouTube, you can do all kinds of stuff with it. And some people do this. They don't stream live, they actually record. And then later on, they can cut out parts, boring parts, and just compact it and then send it to YouTube kind of thing, right? And so this is how you can start. This is how I make a lot of my videos and demonstrations for YouTube. I use OBS and I just use it to record. Now, when you do record, make sure you stop afterwards. I've actually started a recording and left it running all night by accident. So I finished everything I wanted to do. I closed the sim and I closed this and I closed that. I forgot to stop recording. It was underneath a bunch of windows. And then I went off to bed, and then the next morning I came down to start working again, and that's like, oh, it's still recording. That was one big, huge recording file. It's a good thing I got a big hard drive. So, you know, you want to be careful with that, you guys. Make sure you stop it when you're done. Now, when you're done, it's still going to be in a format that you can't use in most places, MKV. It is a good format because it's a lossless format. It actually helps you. If there are chunks of data missing, it can still account for that. Is probably the easiest way to say it. It's a more resilient format, but it's not universal and everything. I can't use it in the video program that I actually use to send out YouTube videos. So this MKV format, now you can simply go up here to the file menu, say Remux Recordings, and you can remux it to an MP4. All right, and you can do this in bulk too. Once you have your MP4, then you can send it with your cloud drive to wherever you're going to use it. All right, and I flip back and forth between machines all the time. There it is, Mike. Yep, he got it. All right, so I thought I mentioned that because you can do the recordings, but then you go, now what do I do with this file, right? You remux it and then go find it. And in fact, when those files are where they are, I just come back to my OBS here.
I think you can actually, I know some people have done recording and they've actually streamed as the recording was as a stream.
Right. Yes.
Because it just depends on where you send it to when you actually do the recording.
Yeah, that's using a protocol to send it. That's what Steve does.
Yeah.
He uses start recording. He found that was more stable than using start streaming. So
yeah.
It was way more complex. He was using SRT to do it, and he has so many delicate settings. I don't recommend it. But start recording by default will save to the hard drive everything that's happening on the screen. And a simple thing to show you right now, what's happening here, you can see with this, you know, I got to fix that. I got to fix lots of things in here. The lighting is horrible on this little camera. But, you know, we can just say start recording. It shows a red button down here. You can see where my pointer is. That red button means you're recording, shows you the time on it. It's actually saving to my videos folder. Now I'm going to say stop recording. All right, now I'm going to go here, file, remux. And when I say remux, I can go pick it now. It says, where's the OBS recording? I'm going to click it. I'm going to go to my videos. And in my videos, I'm going to go to, in this case, desktop, because I'm not in the simulator right now. When I'm in the simulator, I go here and find them. But anyway, desktop. And no, maybe just under videos. 819, yeah, right here. Sorry, right here. Simple enough. So the pictures are under these other folders. Never mind. It's the videos are right here. So here's my latest video at the top, and it's got today's date on it, and I can just simply rename it now or rename it later, and I would just call this demo recording. I have to keep things simple, you guys, or I don't know what they are. So demo recording, I'm going to pick that. It's got it up here now. I can pick another one. I can pick in bulk. I'm just going to leave that there now and say Remux. It's a small one, so it's going to be real fast. And then I'm going to say clear finished items over here, and I'm going to close it. Now, if I go to my file system, I can find that file, and you'll notice there's two of them there. All right, there is, once it finally refreshes here, the poor machine's getting overloaded, right? Ooh, they're all locked. What's with the lock? Oof. So here it is here at the bottom. I'm going to have to go figure that out. What's going on there? Here's the MP4. Nope. It's 819. Did it not remux? Should have an MP4 right afterwards. So you can see the example here. I've got an MKV, and right beside it is an MP4. This is what you'll see when you convert them. You'll see an MP4 of the same name. I don't see that at all. I don't see anything with the name that I just gave it. Hold on. Maybe because I renamed it, it's back here. Give me 1 second, and I'll see if I can. Where did the names start? The names start right around here. Demo recording, there it is. Because I renamed it, it's not sitting at the top anymore. So it's right here. Here's the MKV, and here's the equivalent MP4. Once you've got your MP4, you don't even need this one anymore. It can be gone and save your space, all right? Now that one I can send to my cloud drive and then use it other places. And when I play it, it's a normal everyday MP4. So that's not the one I recorded. That was like 5 years ago. I think it was FSX. Okay, that's not the demo recording. Okay, let's quit that one. That's funny. Okay, didn't I call it demo recording? Okay, I did call it that. But it's funny, it actually maybe that's why it didn't rename properly. Yeah, it really messed that demo up. Yeah, okay. But anyway, you get the idea, you guys. We could do it all again to show it pretty properly, but the whole idea is that when you record, you'll get an MKV, and then you can convert it using Remux. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, and Howard, one thing I like about an OBS putting it as MKV format is there's a open source software called Shotcut, and it can take that MKV, because MKV is like unlimited audio and video files, and in Shotcut it's a free open source editor, so you can edit all your videos, trim them, put in sound effects, put in other audio, narration, voiceovers, whatever you need to do, and then export that as MP4, whatever. So people who want to publish and make videos out of that can use that seamlessly.
Howard, check your
Yep.
as Kiwi Craig says he's still
He's doing it.
broadcasting.
He's doing it. Yep, I just had to go to that screen. Kiwi Craig, yay, way to go. Nice job. In theory, yeah. And he's saying that because on his OBS screen, it shows the bars and it shows that he is actually streaming, you guys. That's why he knows it's coming. So right down at the bottom here. Yeah, you can sort of see my screen there too. Down the bottom here, there would be green bars that say that you're streaming down here. The reason you can see mine still is because his screen, I haven't stretched it. So I could do that. I could just come over here to my real broadcast machine, and I can now stretch that out right on top of me so that we don't even see me anymore. And that's fine. Look at this. Nice airplane, nice visual. This is great. Beautiful. And, it's another cool thing too is that you can just do something like that, or even put it in a corner, put another one here, another one there, another one there. So I could have, I didn't give each of you a different key, so I won't be able to do all of you in the same screen. We're sharing the same key right now. So right now Kiwi Craig's broadcasting. Isn't that cool? And because in OBS it's the top one, it's on top of everything else. I can't show you that because this is on the live OBS now. Isn't that cool? Way cool. All right, let's go back to here. So thanks for that. That's beautiful. Way to go. So you're successful. You made some stuff, you guys, and you also broadcast. And it's really cool. The default you notice down here is horizontal for the audio. I like it like real mixers Real mixers are up and down. Up is higher in volume and down is lower to 0. So I like, you can go in here and just configure it so it's vertical bars, and you can fit more on a small space. And I prefer that because it's just like real mixers, right? This one, the picture you're seeing now is called studio mode. Down here under, you know, at the bottom here in the settings again, there's something called studio mode. This is a really nice feature, you guys. Do I have another picture on this? Yeah, I do. Studio mode is a useful layout that resembles professional switching studios. This is what they do. If you've ever seen a broadcast studio where the producer, director is saying, ready on 8, go 8, you know, 8, go, or something like that. I mean, they're telling 8, your camera. I mean, he sees all the cameras right now, and he knows which camera to switch to because he sees the live feeds already. So this is similar to that. You can get this ready to go by picking something here. It's sitting here ready to go. I call it scene on deck. And then what transition do you want? You can pick a transition to fade it, to slide it, to make it do a diagonal wipe, all this other cool stuff that you'll see other streamers doing. And they're using studio mode, and they're using, here's a fade here too, which is really nice. There's also the manual slider like DJs use to go from one song to the other. This will fade you over as slow or as fast as you want to move it yourself. All right, so let me give you an idea of that in real life. That I can do without wrecking my system. I'm going to go to studio mode. You won't see that because that doesn't show up yet on your screen. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Mike and his stream on deck. No, that's your normal stream. Okay, let me put this one. All right, Mike, do you want to stream again to the test one that we're using tonight? And then I'm going to show everybody how I can fade it back and forth. So I'm going to use this fader, but not this picture. I'm going to use the real fader in the real stream to fade over to Mike. All right, so take a look at this. I'm going to use the fader now. I'm fading over, nice and slow, fade over, and now I'm on Mike's screen. You can see the label at the top. All right, and then you can start playing with the other ones too. All right, I'm going to fade back to me, and that's just the picture you guys see. That's just using the fader here to the right and to the left. All right, now you also notice you have the transition one at the top. Whatever transition that was. Oh, it's like a fade transition. All right, so again, you would go pick the transition here that you want to use. This is what directors and producers would do in a studio. And I'm just going to swap from there. Quick transitions. Oh, what's cut do? Boom, boom. So it's more graceful to do it this way. So that's fun stuff you can do with OBS, you guys. And I wanted to point that out because this is a feature that is really good. One time I had to fix something in one of the scenes first before I sent it out. So I had to do it here where you couldn't see it, and then I sent it out, and then it was fixed already, right? So is that kind of cool thing too. All right, we're into overtime. That's just about it. You've seen the layers happen. Everything in my presentation is everything we talked about, everything I demoed. So you can do this yourself, you guys. It is good to have this as a reference if you want to go get it. And we demonstrated all of that. Let me ask this, and I want you to tell me in chat while we draw the winner. I want you to tell me in chat the answer to each of these questions. To be a lead pilot on ForderLearnToFly, why do you need to configure OBS? Just say, tell me why are we doing all this work? It's so much work. Why are we doing all of that? Give me an answer, you guys, in chat. And in the meantime, those who, oh, thanks for the link there, Mike. I'll go get it. Those who are wanting this, I'm going to make sure we close this draw while we're at it, while we're into overtime here. We're going to close it right now. Let me just come back to my browser somewhere in my 1,000 screens. Here we go. Back to here. And we've got 5 tickets purchased. Anybody else want in order to stream your screen and content? Drama. Okay, yeah, that's the answer, right? See you Thursday from hotel, hopefully. Yeah, Super Tide, take care, man. If you're in a hotel, I'm really sorry to hear it. That's just be safe, right? It's all about being safe. So Surly Dev's answer is, why do we need to configure OBS so Howard can have a day off every now and then? It's actually true. Look what Ace does for me, you guys. Look what Ace, Andrew, Mike actually did the stream on Tuesday night. He actually hosted the video file of the replay on Tuesday. Mike did all that, streamed it all. I mean, you guys, I mean, it actually is true, right? But Drama, you're absolutely right. In order to stream your screen and your content, that's really what it's about. Yep, absolutely. Good answer there. And it's, you know, for us in this genre, it's our simulator, right? I mean, other games do this too, right? Yeah. Why do you mute your mic in OBS? You guys remember that? There's so much stuff I covered, right? Why do we mute our mic in OBS? Good point, right? While we're
Why does everybody
asking,
try and mute me?
say that again, Mike.
Why does everybody try and mute me?
They're all trying to mute you. Was it something you said? Yeah.
It's always muting the mic.
Oh, the Cabot Trail. That's cool. Yeah. No fires near you. That's a beautiful, scenic, gorgeous route by bicycle, by motorcycle, or by car. Sanity, A says, Sanity, why do you mute your mic in OBS? Because you don't get a loop, you guys. There'll be an echo loop. Remember,
Drama 32, echo,
he got
echo,
it.
echo.
He got it. He got it as I was starting to say it, right? And the echo, you guys, the stream from OBS will always be delayed no matter where you send it. And when you're on a stream with me as a guest, you're going to be in a Zoom voice call, which is immediate. Andrew's immediate right now. I hear him live, and then it all goes out delayed. So if you're sending your audio mic by OBS, it's already delayed coming to me, and your Zoom is coming to me real time. You're going to get a delay. You're going to get both of those audio feeds, and it's horrible. You'll hear it on every stream sooner or later, right?
And it's not just your mic in OBS. You also mute your Twitch stream if you're watching at the same time.
Yes, if you're watching to see what's being broadcast, make sure it's muted. Yeah, because that will echo back through too. It's like, ooh,
yep.
Yeah, we've all done it. He says, yeah, we've all done it. Yeah, Sanity for sure. Yeah, muted on OBS and do it live. Yeah, all right. Echo. Because you're already broadcasting in Zoom or even in Discord. Yeah, absolutely. Bonus, what's the overlay for? Quick. There is lots to remember, Drama. That's why I say come back and go slowly through the VOD or go pick up this presentation, and it's got all of it in there. I'm about to close the giveaway. Grab a ticket if you need it. That's for these, you guys. It's a set of cheat sheets. These are the US VFR cheat sheets and the US IFR cheat sheet for phraseology to help us speak properly on the radio, which is always something we need. We all need this. And these are, I think they're probably $10 US each if you buy them on the Say Intention site, you guys. So you're getting a $20 deal, free shipping. Mike Audi is going to send them out to you. And let's go pick a winner.
Drama 32, send Howard a note, a DM through our Discord.
Yep. And actually, there's the link right there if you want it.
Yep.
So I'm going to close the giveaway right here. Ready, set, go! Shall we draw a winner? You can no longer enter. All right, let's draw a winner. What did I do here for the... I think this was a drum and a cymbal. Here we go. Flipper Alloy! Paul, you didn't win again. Paul, sorry, Paul, you didn't win again. Flipper Alloy, congratulations, way to go. You are the winner of a set of phraseology cheat sheets from Say Intentions. That's provided by Say Intentions, you guys. We're just distributing them because we believe you should help in any way to do phraseology properly. Pretty cool.
Yes. That's something we can talk about on Thursday.
What's that?
General Aviation VFR, Say Intentions.
Yeah. I can't wait. Could have done it tonight, you know. All right, so there's how you get this presentation if you want it, you guys. And we want to thank you. There's the Lancaster Bomber one from a few weeks ago, and this is the OBS one from today. Just use your phone to pick those up with your camera, and away you go. So where do we go from here, Surly Dev? You know? Can we talk about that, Paul?
Yeah, we
Paul.
can talk about
we
too.
could focus on that, sure. We weren't going to focus on that, but we can do that, yeah. Take care, everybody. Be safe.
Super Ty, have a good trip, Super Ty, and we'll see you guys all on Thursday.
Yep, we'll see you Thursday. Thanks, Mike, for your help.
Buddy.
Thanks,
Welcome.
everybody in chat, and we'll see you again soon, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. And there.